The sun is shining, the mountains are glowing, birds are singing, and the fans are packing into beautiful Larry H. Miller Field for opening night here in Provo, Utah. Your defending Southern champions, the Provo Angels, begin an 8-day, 7-game homestand, taking on the Idaho Fall Chukars for 4 and the Ogden Raptors for 3 games. The Provo Angels had an interesting series up in Casper, Wyoming. The first game of the year was rained out, and it was also called because the weather was in the mid-30s, so the Angels were unable to practice that day. Then Saturday, they played through thunderstorms, and if you may or may not know, in Casper, Wyoming, they do not have a tarp, so the Angels were playing through thunderstorms the entire night. Sunday's game, a scheduled doubleheader. In the 4th inning of the first game, the wind started picking up, and the Angels had a 1 hour and 30-minute delay just because of the wind. Monday and Tuesday's games were all right for the Angels. They lost Monday's game by a score of 9-5 as the Casper Rockies came out and hit the ball with authority. But yesterday, after trailing 4-0 early in the game, the Provo Angels came back. They scored 12 unanswered runs, including J.R. Renz being responsible for 6 of those runs. So the Angels definitely came out hitting the ball well yesterday. Entering last night's contest, they had a difficult time hitting with runners on base, but though that has changed since last night's contest. Jake McCoggan going for the Idaho Fall Chukars tonight. He'll be opposed by Ricardo Requena of the Provo Angels. Ricardo has 1 inning pitch this season in relief, and he gave up 1 hit and 2 strikeouts. So it's the Provo Angels and the Idaho Fall Chukars here in Game 1 of a 4-game set. Right now we have a little bit of a situation going on out on the field, so this game is probably going to take a couple extra minutes to get started, but we'll bring it right back out here. You're listening to SportsJuice.com. Game 1 of a 4-game set with the Idaho Fall Chukars begins in just a couple of minutes. As the Angels opening up the season, it looks like it's going to be a sold-out crowd tonight at Larry H. Miller Field. The Provo Angels, 3 dominating seasons since joining the Pioneer League back in 2001. The one team that they handled pretty good last year, they were 14-1 against the Casper Rockies last season. This year things were a little different as the Rockies took 3 straight games against the Angels before Provo was able to pick up their second win of the 5-game set last night. Tonight, the Idaho Fall Chukars entered the game, 3 wins, 2 losses. They just came off a pretty impressive game against the Ogden Raptors. It was a 5-5 game in the top of the 9th inning when Idaho Falls, Geraldo Valentin hit a grand slam to give the Idaho Falls the lead and eventually the victory. So Idaho Falls is now 3-2 on the season, as it's their first year as affiliate of the Kansas City Royals. Other games that went on last night in the Pioneer League, the Great Falls White Sox were up in Billings, Montana, taking on the Mustangs. Great Falls defeated them by a score of 7-6. That game did take 9 innings. Billings did score a run in the bottom of the 9th, but they were unable to put anything else on the board, as the Great Falls White Sox now are 3-2 on the year. In extra innings up in Helena, Missoula and Helena, it was a 6-6 game before Helena scored the winning run in the bottom of the 10th inning on a base hit. Helena walked away with a 7-6 victory, and Helena now 3 wins and 2 losses. So Missoula, the only team in the league that has 1 win, they're 1-4, while the Angels and the Raptors are both 2-3, and the rest of the teams in the Pioneer League are sitting at 3 wins and 2 losses. Let's go ahead and look at what went on in the Anaheim Angels system yesterday. As you know, it was the Low A All-Star Game in Cedar Rapids. 8 ex-Provo players participated in the All-Star Game in Cedar Rapids, and that was an exciting time for a lot of those young players. High Desert Mavericks were in Rancho Cucamonga. The Quakes defeat the Mavericks 8-1. as they're now 33-37 on the season. The Quakes bullpen pitched the final 4 innings of the game, no hits, 1 run, and 6 strikeouts. So Rancho Cucamonga, who is 4 or 5 games under 500, they do have a lot of good pitching, and a lot of those guys pitched here for the Provo Angels. Right now with Double A, the Arkansas Travelers, they are just finishing up an all-star break. They are currently 33-36 in the Texas League, 5 games out of first place. Dallas McPherson, after having a pretty impressive all-star game, was immediately called up by the Salt Lake Stingers. And yesterday for the Stingers, McPherson went 3 for 3 with a couple runs, a monster home run to center field as the Stingers defeat the Las Vegas 51ers 8-6. It's their first win here in the second half. So they start off the second half in pretty good fashion. Also Casey Koshman and the rest of the ex-Provo Angel guys at AAA Salt Lake. Dallas McPherson and Jeff Mathis, they were also both announced just a couple days ago to participate in the Futures All-Star Game being held at Minute Maid Park in Houston just a couple days before the Major League All-Star Game. So congratulations to those 2 ex-Provo Angel players. Ricardo Requena on the mound for the Angels tonight. Jake McCoggan going for the Idaho Falls Chukars. A gentleman who threw out opening pitch tonight to open up this season, a representative from Zions Bank, looked like he dislocated his leg on the pitch home. Again, it was just a ceremonial first pitch, but his leg snapped out of place and didn't look too pretty, so he's out on the field. The ambulance has just got here. They're putting him on a stretcher and taking him out. So this game is being delayed just a couple minutes, maybe 10 minutes at the most, as both teams are going to be getting set to be presented, take the fields, as it is opening night here at Larry H. Miller Field. We'll be back after this break. You're listening to SportsJuice.com, your home for Provo Angels baseball.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please welcome the Idaho Falls Chukars, the Pioneer League affiliate of the Kansas City Royals, managed by Brian Ruff. Leading off is number 27, Darwinson Salazar. Number 26, Brad Hayes. Number 24, Alex Batista. Number 16, Billy Butler. Number 22, Brian McFall. Number 7, Mario Lyson. Number 25, Ed Lucas. Number 23, Matt Ferrara. Number 9, Felipe Del Rosario. Number 8, Jacob McConaughey. He will be pitching tonight. Also welcome the rest of the Chukars
Back at here at Larry H. Miller Field, game one of the season for the Provo Angels at home in front of this home crowd who have waited the entire spring, winter, and fall for this baseball season to begin. This will be the last opening day for the Angels here at Larry H. Miller Field as their new ballpark should be finished in October. So the Angels and the Chukars getting set for game one of a four-game series. It's just beautiful weather out here. The sun is shining about 85 degrees, and the mountains are just towering over the ballpark as they, I'm sure, are excited that baseball is being played here on the campus at BYU. If you're looking to get your kids out to the ballpark this season, go ahead and sign up to Future Angels Club. Only $10. Your kid gets into all Saturday games. Free Angels Club t-shirt, gets a little mini camp with the players and the coaches, and also a great souvenir program. So if you're thinking of getting your kids involved with the Angels, just $10 for the entire season. And if you're looking to do some sponsorship with the Provo Angels, whether it's over the internet or at the ballpark, give us a call at 735-5496. We still have a lot of opportunities for you to bring your companies out and get in charge. So the Idaho Falls Chukars, they have taken the line, the first base foul line, as we get set momentarily for the starting lineups and the national anthems to be presented. Ricardo Requena on the mound, 6 foot, 170 pounds from Venezuela. This is his 4th year in minor league baseball. He's got some pretty good career numbers. Ricardo Requena came in as a relief pitcher during the first game of the season, but he's got the numbers that are dominating enough to actually be considered a starter. 158 strikeouts in 141 innings pitched. So Ricardo Requena, who could be considered a veteran on this Angels team, will be taking the mound. Provo Angels just getting done taking the field as we're moments away from the national anthem. Don't forget to log on to ProvoAngels.com for all your Angels information. Whether you want to find out what the players are up to, if you want to read game recaps, or find out what the team is doing in the communities, ProvoAngels.com for all your Angels information. And also log on to FutureAngels.com, a great website hosting all the information for the future of your Anaheim Angel players. We'll keep you posted throughout the game with Major League scores. We'll get you involved with what's going on in the Angels farm system. We also have a couple this date in baseball histories for you. A couple guys born, a couple trivia questions. We'll continue to plug the Provo Angels. So we get ready here at Larry H. Miller Field. We will be back as the anthem will be presented.
Number 7, Billy Butler. Number 12, Felix Nunez. Number 16, Michael Hughes. Number 25, J.R. Wren. Number 26, Tim Duff. Number 24, Caleb Maher. Number 29, Mike Perdomo. Number 10, Andrew Toussaint. Number 3, Ryan Leahy. And number 15, our pitcher tonight, Ricardo Requena. And managing the Provo Angels, Tom Kochman. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise, remove your hat, and direct your attention to home plate. Let's give the umpires a quick plug. Welcome Matt Hensel and Rob Savage. All right, the presentation of the colors by the River Ridge First Ward Boy Scouts is
night at Larry H. Miller Field begins now. I'm your host, Jacob Peters. This is Provo Angels baseball here in the 2004 Pioneer League season. We'll look at the lineups in just one moment, but if you're thinking about coming out to the ballpark this year, you have a large group. If you're thinking about doing an all-you-can-eat barbecue, give us a call at 377-2255. We'd love to accommodate you and your group. $5 tickets for your group of 25 to 100, and pregame barbecues, $15. It's all-you-can-eat hot dogs, burgers, cheeseburgers, chicken sandwiches, all that great stuff. Give us a call, 377-2255, so we can get you out and enjoying Provo Angels baseball. Both managers are out on the mound, exchanging the lineups, getting the information exchanged so we can get this game underway. As Jake McCognan is going to be on the mound for the Idaho Fall Chukars, and Ricardo Requena going for the Angels. Requena started off in the Dominican Summer League for a couple of seasons, pitched very well in the Dominican. Came over to the States last year, played with the pitched with the Provo Angels, and then pitched down in Mesa with the Angels. And here he is starting off his second year in a row with Provo. 10 wins and 10 losses in his minor league career. A good ERA, 3.31, 141 innings pitched, and he has a great strikeouts to walk ratio, 38 walks, 158 strikeouts. Idaho Fall Chukars, they played a 5-game series against the Ogden Raptors. Of course, 2 of those games were in Idaho Falls, and 3 of those were in Ogden. So Idaho Falls and Ogden had a little bit of traveling to do, but it was a pretty good series. Both teams were duking it out. Obviously, the Chukars are the minor league affiliate of the Kansas City Royals, while the Ogden Raptors are the minor league affiliate for the Los Angeles Dodgers. So a lot of good things happening here in the Pioneer League this season. We have a lot of top picks playing in this league, including Billy Butler for the Idaho Falls Chukars, the 14th overall pick this season in the 2004 amateur draft. Again, yesterday was the All-Star game in Cedar Rapids in Iowa, home of the low-A Anaheim Angels affiliate. 8 ex-Provo Angel players were in that contest. What a thrill it must have been for a lot of those guys to be playing in their first ever All-Star game. High Desert Mavericks lost to the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes in Rancho. Good job, Quakes, as their bullpen pitched the final 4 innings of that game, allowing no hits, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts. Rancho now is 33-37 on the season. Double-A Arkansas Travelers, they're still in the All-Star break. This is the final day for that All-Star break. They're 33-36, 5 games out of first place. Both Jeff Mathis and Dallas McPherson participated in the Double-A All-Star game and had an outstanding game between the 2 of them. In fact, McPherson was called up to Triple-A Salt Lake just 2 days ago. Up in Salt Lake, the Stingers defeat the Las Vegas 51ers 8-6. That was last night. It starts off their second half with a victory. McPherson, in his debut at the AAA level, 3 for 3, scoring 2 runs, a monster home run to center field, as McPherson is on his way to becoming the next big thing for the Anaheim Angels. Let's go ahead and look at the Idaho Fall Chukars lineup today. Darwinson Salazar will be leading things off. This is his 5th season in minor league baseball. Of course, a couple of those years he actually spent in the Dominican Summer League, but he played 2 years in Arizona, and with the Gulf Coast League last year, he's a .237 hitter. Brad Hayes at first base, he'll be hitting second, while Alexander Bautista in left field will be batting third. Billy Butler, the DH, the 14th overall pick in this year's draft, will be hitting cleanup. Brian McFall in right field will be batting fifth. Mario Lyson at third base hitting sixth. And Lucas, the shortstop, in the 7th spot. Matt Ferrara, the second baseman, hitting 8th. And then Felipe Del Rosario, the catcher, will be finishing things off for the Idaho Fall Chukars lineup. They'll be opposed by Ricardo Requena of the Angels. He's got 1 inning pitched already this season. He gave up 1 hit, a couple strikeouts, no runs. This will be Ricardo's first start of the year as Darwinson Salazar makes his way to the bat. It's time for baseball here at Larry H. Miller Field, opening night for the Angels. They open up the season 5 games in Casper, Wyoming. Played some interesting games against them. Picked up the 12-4 victory last night, scoring 12 unanswered runs. The first pitch by Requena will be right on the inside part of the plate for a strike. 0-1 to Salazar. a .237 career hitter. Salazar has had over 500 minor league at-bats, all at the short season levels. And he'll take the next Requena pitch high and inside, 1-1. Darwin Salazar from Venezuela played 2 years in the Dominican Summer League, played in the Gulf Coast League with the Royals, and then last season was in the Arizona League. The 1-1 offering by Requena will be popped foul behind the plate between home plate and first. Nothing, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ricardo Requena, another product from the Dominican Summer League, and he's put up some good numbers as well. A ball and 2 strikes here in the top of the first inning. And fouled back off the screen and into the stands. Keeps the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Defensively for the Angels, Tim Duff catching, Caleb Mayer at first base, Billy Boyer at second, Ryan Leahy at short, and Andrew Toussaint at third base. Michael Hughes in left, Felix Nunez in center, and J.R. Renz in right. The 1-2 offering swung on and missed, and Darwin Salazar is the first out of this game as he heads back to the Idaho Fall Chukars dugout. Brad Hayes, the 15th round draft pick by the Royals. Brad Hayes was picked up out of Arkansas State. A good power hitter. Brad Hayes batting from the right side. Ricardo Requena, a right-hander, and he'll get the sign from Tim Duff. The first pitch will be inside for a ball, 1-0. Again, throughout this game, we'll keep you updated on scores in the big leagues. We'll also get you updated on Anaheim Angel farm teams and what they're doing this evening. Got some trivia for you and also some this date in baseball histories. The 1-0 pitch by Requena will be low and outside, 2-0. So Brad Hayes, his first week as a professional, a 15th round draft pick. Requena delivering liner. That's going to be right to Billy Boyer at short. Ryan Leahy at short, who will pick it up on a hop. And Brad Hayes is out number 2. So 2 quick outs. 2 quick outs here in the top of the first. And Alexander Bautista. Bautista, a .367 hitter last year in the Arizona League. First pitch, and he'll take a strike right over the plate. Good fastball by Requena, 0-1. Alexander Taveras Bautista from the Dominican Republic. The 0-1 going to be inside to the right-hander. So the Idaho Fall Chukars, interestingly enough, they are the only team in the Pioneer League that has all right-handed batters. Not one lefty in this entire lineup. The 1-1. Outside, 2 balls and a strike. Bautista, a .269 career hitter. This is his 4th year playing professionally, but he's been playing short season ball every season. 2-1, grounder off Requena's glove into center field, and that'll be a 2-out base hit by Bautista. Both the shortstop Ryan Leahy and Billy Boyer were playing in their normal depths as the ball slipped right in between them. So Bautista singling through the middle, and it'll be Billy Butler. The designated hitter, 14th overall pick out of high school. Not so often do you see one of the top picks in the nation playing as a DH. Butler from the right, runner at first base is Bautista, and the first pitch will be an inside strike, 0-1. So the Idaho Fall Chukars used to be the Idaho Falls Padres before changing affiliates. Ricardo Requena getting the sign from Tim Duff. And the pitch is going to be just a bit low, 1-1. Throughout the game, we'll also be mentioning and thanking a lot of our Provo Angels sponsors. We'll get you updated with opportunities if you're looking to sponsor with the Provo Angels. A ball and a strike to Butler. Requena delivers, and it'll be on the outside part of the plate, 1-2. So Requena right now doing a good job mixing up his pitches, going in and out. Last night, or actually 2 nights ago, the Provo Angels had a difficult time as Francisco Cordova couldn't find the plate. Roquina with the 1-2 pitch, and that'll be popped back down in the foul grounds behind first base. Keeps the count at 1-2. But Roquina not afraid to go inside, and manager Tom Kochman had a lengthy discussion with these Provo Angel batters after losing the second game of the doubleheader on Sunday. He told them, don't be afraid to go inside on guys, and if you hit him, you hit him. 1-2. Again, that'll be outside. The ball will be dropped by Duff, and the runner will take second. 2 balls and 2 strikes, so Bautista is now at second. Billy Butler, 14th overall pick, signed for a pretty good-looking contract, or pretty good-looking signing bonus. And Butler, the future for the Kansas City Royals, a team that has some pretty good talent up there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Roquina delivers a swing and a miss, but the ball is dropped by Tim Duff. He'll throw it over to first base. That'll end the inning. So Roquina striking out 2, stranding 1. We head to the bottom of the first, and it's Provo Angels time here at Larry H. Miller Field, opening night.
Coca-Cola for sponsoring the honorary Fat Boy, Fat Girl promotion. Visit your Provo and Springfield McDonald's locations. Get your child signed up for the chance to be the honorary Fat Boy or Fat Girl.
Back out here at Larry H. Miller Field, bottom of the first inning, and your Provo Angels getting set to take their at-bats against Jake McCoggan, who already has 1 start this season, 7 innings, only 3 hits, no earned runs. McCoggan, however, was a part of that Idaho Falls loss to open up the season as his Chukars committed 3 errors in the first inning. Let's go ahead and look at the Angels lineup for today. Billy Butler, the second baseman, will be leading things off. Felix Nunez in center field will be hitting second, and Michael Hughes in left field will be batting third. J.R. Renz cleaning things up after having 3 doubles last night, scoring a total of 5 runs. Renz will be hitting fourth. Tim Duff catching will be in the 5 spot. Caleb Mayer at first base will be hitting 6th. Mike Perdomo, the DH, will be batting 7th. Andrew Toussaint at third base will be hitting 8th. And Ryan Leahy, the shortstop, will be finishing things off in the 9 spot. Jake McCoggan. Jake McConaughey is his name. McConaughey pitched in Arizona last year, 9 games, 8 2/3 innings. McConaughey, a left-hander. Billy Butler, a switch hitter. First pitch to Boyer will be inside for a strike, 0-1. Billy Boyer opened up the first 4 games of the season with base hits. Last night, though, was 0 for 5 against the Rockies. The 0-1 pitch will be outside, 1-1. Billy Boyer, 350 hitter with a couple doubles and a home run. Nearly hit 300 last year in Mesa. The 1-1. And this one will be popped foul down the right field side. 1 ball and 2 strikes. We'll get you up to date with the big league scoreboard, and probably the top of the second inning we'll go over that with you. Also let you know what's going on at FutureAngels.com, home of the future Anaheim Angels starters. The 1-2 inside to Boyer, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jake McConaughey again pitched a 7-inning 3-hitter against Ogden early in his first start of the season, but the Idaho Fall Chukars ended up picking up the loss as they committed 3 errors in the game. Did Billy Boyer swing? And he did, says first base umpire Rob Savage. So Boyer strikes out, 1 gone, and Felix Nunez makes his way up.
Number 12, Felix Nunez.
Nunez, a .333 hitter in Mesa last season. And in 2002, Nunez had 50 at-bats in Provo, and he didn't do too bad. Nunez, a right-hander, as he gets set to take on Jake McConaughey. First pitch will be on the outside part of the plate. 0-1. No score, bottom of the first inning, game 1 of a 4-game set with Idaho Falls. Sunday will be an off day, and then 3 games here at Larry H. Miller Field against the Raptors. Nunez takes one outside, a ball and a strike. If you're thinking about coming out to Provo Angel games this year, the ticket prices are incredible. $8 for Superbox tickets, $6 for anything in the reserve seating, and kids get in for even less than that. The 1-1 pitch, not swung on, and it'll be low. 2 balls and 1 strike to Felix Nunez, who's hit the ball pretty well so far this young season. 325 down the lines, 388 in the alleys, and 400 to center field. Nunez is hit by the pitch on his leg and is knocked on the ground, so the trainer, Aaron, is going to come out and see if Nunez is okay. The pitch just sailed away from Jake McConaughey, and it hit him on his knee, possibly on his kneecap, and Nunez is on the ground right here as Aaron is checking out the damage. So Nunez hit by a pitch. The runner will be put at first as Michael Hughes in the on-deck circle. Aaron Wells, he worked a couple years with the Lincoln Salt Dogs as a trainer. He's been with the Angels for a few years now, and a lot of the players have a lot of respect for him because this is a guy that really cares and takes his time out to make sure that these ball players are feeling good. And just to give you an example, last night on the bus, a number of players were sick. The bus didn't come into Provo until about 7 in the morning. Aaron was up the entire time getting medicine for players, making sure they were feeling good. Aaron Wells, a very good trainer, as Nunez is on the ground. Now they're bending his leg just to find out if he's going to be okay, and it looks like they're probably going to have to bring in a pinch runner and a new center fielder, as Nunez is going to get helped to the dugouts. Nunez standing on his own, walking on his own willpower right here, as Michael Hughes will make his way to the plate. Don't forget, www.provoangels.com for all your Angels information, ticket prices, events in the community, and all the game recaps at provoangels.com. And now Nunez is going to head over to first base, so it looks like he's going to tough it out. That's a good thing about a lot of these ball players who are free agent pickups. They enjoy playing the game as Nunez walks over to first, and Michael Hughes, the left fielder, digs in. Michael Hughes, a right-hander. He's 1 for 11 to start off his career with the Anaheim Angels farm system.
The ambulance has already been here once.
A draft pick out of the University of Illinois. 8 triples, 13 home runs, nearly hit .370. That was a top pick, one of the top picks by the Angels. In fact, Michael Hughes, very good athlete. So Nunez at first base. No score, bottom of the first inning here at Larry H. Miller Field. Hughes from the right side. He's a strong batter, but just hasn't made a lot of connections so far this year. Still lace the ball foul down the first base side and into the stands. 0-1. Jake McConaughey, the lefty, has had some pretty good numbers in his short minor league career. McConaughey, 5'10", 180 pounds. It's opening night here at Larry H. Miller Field. And McConaughey will throw to first base. Nunez gets back safely. Michael Hughes, the 3-hitter. Right behind him is J.R. Renz in the on-deck circle. A beautiful night for baseball. The sun is shining in the outfielder's eyes. The infield is almost covered in shadows. The 0-1 pitch, Nunez is running. Here's a throw by Felipe Del Rosario, and Nunez stealing his first base of the year after getting hit on the leg. It was either a really good acting job by Nunez, or he just wants to prove to Kochman that he's not going to let a little hit by pitch disturb his rhythm. So Nunez steals the base. Felipe Del Rosario, the catcher, with a high throw. It's a ball and a strike to Michael Hughes. Runner now in scoring position. Delivery, and it'll be high. 2 balls and 1 strike. The Angels have a lot of good ball players on this Provo team. 6th round pick, Joshua LeBlanc, even though he hasn't hit the ball very well yet, he's still a good pickup. Clifton Romali, an 11th round pick out of Georgia Tech. Nate Sutton out of UC Santa Barbara, he's been on fire. So this Provo Angel team definitely has a lot of talent. 2 balls and 1 strike. The pitch, one hopper right to the second baseman, Matt Ferrara, who makes a good throw to first base, and the ball short hopped him, and the sun was right in his eyes as he kind of squinted when he got that ball. But Hughes grounds out. Felix Nunez advances to third. And with 2 outs on the board, it's J.R. Renz. Renz was 0 for his first 10 as a Provo Angel before collecting 3 doubles last night, each of them bringing home a couple of runs. Renz will take the first pitch inside, 1-0. J.R. Renz, a .241 hitter in 2 seasons in Mesa. A good power hitter. He'll take another one low and outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Renz, a switch hitter. From Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, just outside of Tulsa. The 2-0 pitch. He'll get a piece of it, foul it off the mask of the umpire, and it is now 2 balls and 1 strike. Matt Hensel calling the balls and strikes behind the plate. Rob Savage will be the field umpire. Felix Nunez at third base. Defense, at least the outfielders, a little shaded towards left for J.R. Renz, even though all 3 of his doubles last night were opposite field hits. The 2-1, low and outside, 3 balls and 1 strike. Renz with a pretty good eye. Wouldn't necessarily call him a strikeout-prone batter. He's a .241 hitter, but he makes connection on his outs. 3 balls, 1 strike. Renz waiting. Chopper right to the third baseman, Mario Lyson, who will make a throw to first. And that'll end the inning. So after Nunez is hit by a pitch and steals a base, he is stranded. We head to the top of the second. No score. And the Idaho Fall Chukars coming up.
Attention fans, it's time to announce the winners of the Love Sack, Best Sack in the House drawing. Rachel Berkeley, you are a winner, and Curtis Malone. All right, you guys come to Portal D and bring a friend if you'd like to. There's plenty of room in the best seats in the house, located in the front of the South Press Box. And they're provided to you by the Love Sack of the Provo store, home of the huggable, lovable, washable alternative to lame furniture. Love Sack's lots of lifetime and a warranty to prove it.
Back out here at Larry H. Miller Field, top of the second inning, it's going to be Brian McFall, Mario Lyson, and Ed Lucas to take their at-bats for the Chukars. Hey, fans, if you're listening in and you are thinking about doing some promotional ideas with the Angels, or if you want to get your name involved with Provo, give us a call, 735-5496, or at the offices at 377-BALL. That's 377-2255, as we can offer you plenty of great sponsorship opportunities. Brian McFall in his batting from the right side, a third-round pick by the Royals last season. And McFall will take a ball high, 1-0. A .221 hitter in two short seasons in the Arizona League. 191 at-bats, 6 home runs, so foul a ball down the third base side, 1-1. But Brian McFall, a third-round pick. This Idaho Fall Chukars team, they have a lot of guys who were top picks within the last couple of years. Obviously, Billy Butler, the 14th overall pick this year. McFall, the third-rounder. He'll swing and miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Even Matt Ferrara, who was also a third-rounder. So this Idaho Fall team's pretty good talent. McFall from Flagstaff, Arizona, went to Chandler Gilbert Community College. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Requena set. Here it is. And he will swing at a high fastball. Out number 1 here in the second. And Requena already with 3 strikeouts. We mentioned it before the game started, but Ricardo Requena, a good strikeout pitcher. 158 guys he sat down in his first 3 seasons in 141 innings. Mario Lyson from the right. The first pitch will be inside, 1-0. Mario Lyson, a .262 hitter, a couple seasons in the Dominican Summer League, and he had 10 at-bats in the Gulf Coast League. The 1-0 pitch will cut the outside part of the plate, evening things up at 1-1. We'd like to thank a lot of great sponsors who are out of the ballpark tonight, including Namaste Body Works, giving massages on the concourse level, relaxing your pain. Namaste Body Works and Cheryl Wren. Lyson takes a strike, 1 and 2. And also Lovesack of Provo, Out and Back, Barber Brothers, a lot of great companies here tonight with the Angels. Ground ball to Leahy at short. He'll pick it up, long throw. What a good pick by Caleb Mayer at first. There are 2 gone. So Lyson grounds out. It's going to be Ed Lucas digging in, an 11th round draft pick out of Dartmouth College. Ed Lucas put up some pretty impressive numbers, a .405 hitter at Dartmouth. And again, a right-hander. This Idaho Fall team with right-handers up and down the lineup. First pitch, it'll be fouled back, 0-1. Ricardo Requena, talented pitcher. He's got a lot of good stuff in his repertoire. As he waits on the 0-1 pitch, here it is. It'll be high and inside to even things up again. So we're in the top of the second inning, no score here on opening night at Larry H. Miller Field. The Angels, 2 wins, 3 losses. The Idaho Fall Chukars, 3-2 on the young season. And the next Requena pitch, it'll be a breaking ball outside, 2-1. Michael Hughes playing left field for the Angels. The sun is in his eyes. Felix Nunez in center field, same thing. And J.R.N's in right field. Line drive into left. Michael Hughes is going to catch it on 1 hop, as it was hit so sharply that couldn't really make a play on it. So the 2-out single for Lucas, and that'll bring up Matt Ferrara.
Number 23.
Ferrara, a third-round draft pick back in 2001, but some injuries and some obvious questions have happened in his career as he's still playing short season ball. A .191 hitter in 2 seasons. So Ferrara hasn't really been able to get to the low A level yet. He'll foul a pitch back, 0-1. And a lot of times these guys would get drafted pretty high. I know a lot of second rounders who get picked, and you know, the world is theirs to conquer, but they just can't adjust playing every day with wood bats in front of large crowds. And it's difficult for a lot of players, but it seems like Matt Ferrara is kind of in that same group right now. A good athlete in college, but just hasn't hit the ball consistently since turning pro 2 summers ago. Ferrara taking a ball outside. 1-1. Ricardo Requena, the righty. A 3.31 career ERA. A very good strikeout to walk ratio. 4 strikeouts for every walk he registers. The 1-1 pitch, and it'll be low. 2 balls and 1 strike. The Anaheim Angels and the Oakland A's, they start off a game tonight at 7:05 Pacific Coast time. In fact, right now it looks like they're getting ready to start. Mike Redmond on the mound for Oakland. Kelvin Escobar taking the mound for Anaheim. The Angels played good baseball. Runner going, high throw by Duff with the tag applied and nailing Ed Lucas to end the inning. A good apply by the shortstop, Ryan Leahy, and that'll end the inning. So Idaho Falls thinking they have something going, but they get caught stealing. We head to the bottom of the second. No score here at Larry H. Miller Field. Bottom of the second inning, Tim Duff, Caleb Mayer, and Mike Perdomo to take their at-bats for the Provo Angels. Don't forget, log on to www.provoangels.com for all your Angels information, good needs. If you have any questions regarding media, go ahead and give Zach Frazier a call at 377-2255. Tim Duff leading things off. He'll bat from the right, and the first pitch he'll take from McConaughey is high and outside, 1-0. Scoreless game here at opening night at Larry H. Miller Field. The Angels trying to make it 4 straight years winning the South Division, and this time winning it all in the Pioneer League Championships. They have not been able to do that since coming here. They've got close, though. 2 balls and no strikes to Tim Duff, a University of Tampa product. Hit 8 home runs with Tampa, hit over 300, and is 1 for 6 with the Angels this season. Line drive, base hit into left field, though. So Tim Duff staying back, being patient, and he'll open up the second inning with a single. Now, one thing the Angels had a difficulty in the first 4 games of the Casper series was bringing those runners across plate. They let off the inning with base hits about 45% of the time, but they struggled when guys were on base, and that changed last night as the Angels scored 12 unanswered runs after the 5th inning. Caleb Mayer, another good hitter. First pitch Mayer will take is a breaking pitch for a strike. 0-1. So a lot of the fans out here in Provo, Utah, they are excited to have the Angels back in town. And this will be the last year they play at Larry H. Miller Field as they get ready to move into their new ballpark next season. McConaughey's next pitch cut in the outside part of the plate, and now Caleb Mayer is down in the count, 0-2. Caleb played at Cedar Rapids last year, a .233 hitter with 7 home runs. Grounder past the third baseman and past the shortstop into left field. So Caleb on an 0-2 count, able to make contact, and now 2 runners are on base. Now we can't stress that this team, as they just approach the game so differently, because they've really been hitting the ball and runners have been getting on base, something they didn't do during the first 4 games of the season. 2 men on base, nobody out, and Mike Perdomo digging in. Perdomo last night had a double, a single, reached base 3 times. Perdomo currently a .273 hitter as he faces off against McConaughey. First pitch, it'll be a strike, 0-1. Good location by McConaughey as he paints the outside part of the plate. Perdomo, the designated hitter, was injured all of 2003, but played here with Provo back in 2002. 0-1. 2 men on base, no outs, and Perdomo showing bunt. They'll get a piece of it, but the ball will go foul. Perdomo now down in the count, 0-2. The Angels were shocked in Casper, Wyoming, as the Rockies took 3 straight games against them. The Angels came back in Game 5, scoring 12 runs, thanks in large part to JRNs and Mike Perdomo, who's at bat right now, and a number of these other Angel players. Got here in Provo about 7 o'clock this morning. The 0-2 pitch, it will be inside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. But they're ready to play baseball despite a couple of these guys getting the flu bug. Kochman was sick. A couple of other players were sick, but they fought through it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. McConaughey delivering, swung on and missed as Perdomo chases one outside. He is out number 1 here in the bottom of the second. If you're thinking of bringing your group out to the ballpark this year, we urge you to. Great group outing rate, $5 tickets for your group of 25 to 100. $5, bring your group out. Give James Davis a call at 377-2255. Andrew Toussaint at the bat. From the right side, McConaughey delivering, and it'll be a strike, 0-1. Toussaint was a standout player at Southern A&M, a 13th round draft pick by the Angels. He nearly hit 400 at Southern A&M with 14 home runs and 54 RBIs. So Toussaint, who played 2 years at Southern A&M, decided, I'm going to go ahead and sign a contract, and here he is in the Angel system. Toussaint out of Southern California. Here's the 0-1 pitch, high and outside, 1-1. Toussaint, though, he's 1 for 6 with the Provo Angels. He thought that he'd be starting every game, but he's basically been swapping spots with Nate Sutton, the third baseman out of UC Santa Barbara. And Sutton has been impressive. That's why Toussaint hasn't had a lot of playing time. McConaughey turns around and throws one to second base just to keep Tim Duff close. A beautiful night here in Provo, Utah. What a gorgeous view. The mountains right beyond us, right behind the walls here. It's just gorgeous. They're overtowering. 1 ball, 1 strike. And again, McConaughey pretending he's going to throw to second base. With 1 out on the board, obviously he wants to keep those guys close to the base. Toussaint, a right-hander, a pull hitter. 0-2. McConaughey's pitch will sell outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. We'll get you updated with all the scores in the big leagues and some of the finals in the top of the third. And we'll also keep you posted on what the Anaheim Angels are doing today against Oakland, as they are right now a half a game behind the Texas Rangers. 2-1. Toussaint will swing through the pitch. It's high and outside, but he tried chasing it anyways. And 2-2. Tim Duff at second base. Caleb Mayer at first. A good amount of fans here at Larry H. Miller Field. There's still some seats open, so if you're thinking of coming down to the ballpark and maybe listening to the game on the internet right now, we urge you to come on over. McConaughey will try to get an outside strike. Not happening, though, as the count is full, 3-2. Ryan Leahy in the on-deck circle. Toussaint, a powerful hitter at Southern A&M. Would love to open this game up right here. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, and now the runner nearly picked off at second as he slipped. Tim Duff fell over, but the second baseman, Matt Ferrara, didn't pick up on it as Duff was able to get himself back to second base. Bottom of the second. We'd like to thank Millennial Marine for being a proud sponsor of Provo Angel webcasts. 3-2. Here comes the payoff pitch. Runners going. Line drive. Base hit up the middle by Toussaint. Rounding third base is going to be Tim Duff. The throw is off. And the Angels take the 1-0 lead here at Larry H. Miller Field. Toussaint, a line drive single through the middle. And the Angels start the scoring first in front of the home crowd. It's a 1-0 game. Caleb Mayer having to stop at second. And Ryan Leahy makes his way to the bat. Ryan Leahy out of Boston College was one of the toughest collegiate batters to strike out, as he only had 33 strikeouts in 334 at-bats, and he'll get a base hit into right center. That one will roll out to the center fielder. Coming home to score is Caleb Mayer and Ryan Leahy. Back-to-back RBI singles for the Angels, as Leahy just punched one to that gap. It is now 2-0. Toussaint taking third base on that base hit, and not too many times you see a guy going from first to third on a base hit into center. But Toussaint did that, and now it's Billy Boyer coming in. Billy Boyer, playing in the Arizona League last season. A couple doubles and a home run already with the Angels, and he's got runners at the corner, only 1 out. Jake McConaughey set, and this one lined into left field. So Toussaint will trot on home, and it's now a 3-0 Anaheim lead. So Toussaint coming around. Back-to-back RBI singles for the Angels. Felix Nunez, who was hit by a pitch in the first inning, looked like he was almost going to get taken out of the game, but decided that he could go ahead and run on his own will, and he ended up stealing second base. Pitching coach for the Idaho Fall Chukars, Jose Bautista, is out on the mound talking with McConaughey. Basically just trying to calm his pitcher down, give him a breather. The Angels have collected 5 hits in this inning. And Nunez, a .333 hitter last year with Mesa, will come up and take his at-bats. It's a final in Philadelphia Phillies and the Montreal Expos. 5-2 Phillies with the win. And Jim Thome is Major League leading 24th home run as Kevin Millwood goes to 5-5, and Billy Wagner, his 11th save as the Phillies beat the Expos in Montreal. Nunez, first pitch, and he'll take a strike on the outside part of the plate, 0-1. And also the Minnesota Twins defeat the Red Sox 4-2 in Boston. Derek Lowe with the loss, Jose Silva with the victory. Torrey Hunter, 10th home run of the year for him. No balls in the strike, and now the home plate umpire, Matt Hensel, allowing Nunez to call time. A 3-0 Provo Angels lead, and this is the Angels team that a lot of people here in Provo are used to. That's the team that scores runs and gets things done early. Most games are won or lost in the first couple of innings, and the Provo Angels with a 3-0 lead. 0-1. Nunez will take a pitch high. even things up at 1-1. Opening night here at Larry H. Miller Field, a good amount of fans to root on the Angels, as this will be their last season at Larry H. Miller Field. Obviously, the BYU Cougars will still play at this facility. It's a beautiful collegiate ballpark. But the Angels move over at UVSC, as their new ballpark should be done in October. Nunez with a foul ball back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nunez in his 3rd year of minor league baseball, short season baseball that is. And the Angels have a stacked farm system right now. Currently, at least Baseball America has ranked them the 3rd best farm system. Grounder right to the 3rd baseman, to second for 1, back to first, not in time as Nunez is safe. So Mario Lyson going to second for the force out. But Matt Ferrara can't make the throw back to first. Nunez with pretty good speed. That will be a fielder's choice. Ryan Leahy at 3rd base. Now 2 outs on the board, and Michael Hughes steps in. Michael Hughes, such a powerful hitter in college, and so far had a hard time adjusting to professional baseball. He's won from his first 12 this season. Michael Hughes out of the University of Illinois put up some strong numbers there. Ryan Leahy at 3rd base, Nunez at first. It's a 3-0 Angels lead, bottom of the 2nd. And McConaughey's pitch will be grounded right to the shortstop. Is going to go to first base. Ed Lucas to Brad Hayes, and that ends the inning. But the Provo Angels scored 3 runs on 5 hits. We head to the 3rd, top of the 3rd. The Idaho Falls Chukars coming up. You're listening to SportsJuice.com, home for Provo Angels baseball.
Hey, fans, it's time to let the dogs out. The lovable Angels mascot Charlie has now been let loose for the enjoyment of all the fans of all ages. Make sure your kids say hello to the scratch behind the ears, but please do not pull his tail. Here he is in the press box. All right, fans, please welcome tonight's Provo area press box fan of the game, Seth Hunter. He's from Payson. He's going to spend the 3rd inning right up here in the press box with me, learning the ropes of baseball media business. If you'd like to sign up for your chance to be the press box fan of the game, just stop by the front desk of the Provo area.
Top of the 3rd inning, it's going to be Matt Ferrara, Felipe Del Rosario, and Darwinson Salazar to take their shots for the Idaho Falls Chukars. A 3-0 Angels lead, and let's go ahead and look over the big league scoreboard right now. It's a final as the Baltimore Orioles defeat the New York Yankees 13-2. 13 runs on 17 hits for Baltimore. Miguel Tejada has hit his 12th home run, back-to-back games for Tejada, as the Yankees fall to the Orioles. Top of the 8th inning, the Chicago Cubs and the St. Louis Cardinals all tied up at 9 apiece. Todd Walker, an ex-Salt Lake Buzzman, has hit his 11th home run, and Albert Pujols has hit his 20th for the St. Louis Cardinals, currently there in the top of the 8th. We'll get you some more scores in just a moment, as it's game 1 of a 4-game set with the Idaho Falls Chukars. Ferrara fouling the ball back. He was at bat when Ed Lucas got caught stealing to end the 2nd inning. So Ferrara takes his hacks again against Ricardo Requena. The Angels, with 32 players on their roster, have used just about every single one of them in the first 5 games of the season. The 0-1 pitch to Ferrara, high fly ball into left field. Going back is Michael Hughes. He's watching it as it's elevated and over the Daily Herald sign in left field. So Matt Ferrara with a solo shot. That gives the Idaho Falls Chukars their first run of the game. And Ferrara hitting his 7th career home run. A 3-1 Angels lead, and Ricardo Requena giving up his first home run of the season. Good piece of hitting there for Ferrara. He guessed right, was able to pull the pitch down the left field line, and puts his Idaho Fall Chukars on the board. Felipe Del Rosario now digs in. His third season. Felipe played the past 2 years in the Dominican Summer League and in the Arizona League. He'll take one high and tight, 1-0. Del Rosario from the Dominican Republic was a free agent pickup by the Royals. As he waits in this pitch, this will be popped up. Shortstop Ryan Leahy has a play on it in shallow left field, so Leahy going all the way back for it, and that's out number 1. Angel fans, don't forget to give us a call, 377-2255 for all your group outing needs. We got great group rates. Go ahead and give James Davis a call. He'll get you hooked up with all those wonderful thingamabobs. And, of course, we got an all-you-can-eat barbecue at the ballpark this year, so call us up at the offices, 377-2255. Darwinson Salazar, a right-hander. This is his 5th year playing professional baseball. His first 2 years were spent in the Dominican Summer League. He'll take a ball inside, 1-0. Last year, Salazar hit .262 in the Arizona League. A .237 career hitter. 1 ball, no strikes. And he'll take one on the outside part of the plate. 1-1. Salazar from Venezuela. Good center fielder, has got great speed, 28 career stolen bases, and he'll hit a slow roller to the shortstop, Leahy. Leahy's got to hurry. Here's the throw, and it'll be on time as he gets Salazar by about a step and a half. Ryan Leahy only stands at 5'9", but he's a very good shortstop, a strong arm. He enjoys working out, keeping his arm strong so he can make those throws. Not too many Major League shortstops stand at 5'9", and one of the big league shortstops who are 5'9" is playing up in Anaheim. This is David Eckstein. Brad Hayes hit a line drive to Leahy in the first, and he'll take a ball outside, 1-0. Top of the third, 3-1. Provo Angels on top here at opening night at Larry H. Miller Field, home of the BYU Cougars. The Angels have, I guess you can say, rented the ballpark every season before finally finding an appropriate location to build their new ballpark. As they'll be moving right off the freeway, right off of University Avenue and the 15, right near UVSC. 2 balls and no strikes to the 15th rounder out of Arkansas State. He'll pop this pitch opposite field down the right field side, and that puts the count at 2-1. Coming out to the ballpark, pick up your Provo Angels program. It's one of the nicer programs we've ever seen at this level of baseball. That Zach Frazier, our media relations director, put the whole thing together himself. Only $1. Find your lucky programs. His MVP Sports will have some of them stamped. Base hit, past the diving Andrew Toussaint at third base. So Brad Hayes singling down the left field line. Toussaint gave it a good try, but it skips right past him. It's a 2-out single. But again, that Provo Angels program is pretty sweet looking. Pick it up. Only $1. These things, I'm sure, would sell for a lot more. But the Angels decided they want to give you a break on it. It's pretty fun. They got kids activities in here, crossword puzzles, coloring book, a couple great stories and information on the team. Fly ball into right field. Coming on is J.R. Renz, and it'll drop in front of him. Brad Hayes will slide all the way into third base as he was running. Didn't look like he was running pretty fast, but he made it nonetheless. With 2 outs on the board, your coaches tell you to run. It's the rule of thumb. So Batiste with a bloop single into right. And that puts runners in the corners for the first pick of the Royals this season, Billy Butler. Butler, the 14th overall out of high school. And he's the designated hitter in today's contest. Obviously, for more information on Idaho Fall Chukars baseball, you can log on to their website and get all the information, ifchukars.com. Butler from the right, and the first pitch, liner, Leahy diving it short, good stop, but he's not going to be able to make a throw on it. He stopped the ball from going into left field, but just dropped it as he was picking it up. That'll be an infield single for Butler. And Lee, again, who only stands at 5'9", he gave it a good effort. As the second run for Idaho Falls scores, it's now a 3-2 Angels lead, as the Chukars have scored 2 runs this inning. Brian McFall, a third-round pick last season for the Royals. He's had a difficult time adjusting at the professional level. Ricardo Requena finds himself in some difficult spots here in the top of the third. The Angels lead by 1 run. It's a 3-2 contest. Requena looks to the second, comes home with the pitch, and swung on and missed is Brian McFall. McFall struck out to open up the second inning. Requena's probably trying to think, what did I do to strike him out in his last at-bat? And he'll try to bring that to the plate right here. 2 men on top of the third. The lights are turned on here at Larry H. Miller Field. The pitch, and it'll be popped foul down the left field side, 0-2. Provo Angels baseball, a lot of great sponsors who have made things possible this season for the Angels. We'll mention some of those names in just a bit, as they have made Angels baseball possible now for the 4th year here in Utah County. The Angels producing the future for the Anaheim Angels. No balls, 2 strikes. McFall from the right, and the pitch will be high, 1-2. Michael Hughes in left field, Felix Nunez playing in center, and J.R. Renz in right field. They're pretty much playing the right-hander straight away, as Nunez is not shaded at all towards left. Now he takes a couple steps. And this one will be a bloop into left, coming on as Michael Hughes, and that'll drop in front of him. Momentarily bobbles the ball, and the run will score. Hughes might have had a play on that. He's got a strong arm. But as he gloved the ball, it bounced out and went scattering away a couple feet. And that allowed Alexander Bautista to score, as it's now a 3-3 contest. And the Idaho Falls Chukars, with 2 outs on the board, have collected 4 straight singles. Matt Ferrara opened up the inning with a home run, but then Ricardo Requena got a couple quick outs. Now Zeke Zimmerman, the pitching coach for the Angels, is out talking with Requena. No activity in the Angels bullpen, and fittingly enough, they want to allow Requena to pitch out of his own jam. And that's another interesting thing about baseball at this level is a lot of times the pitching coaches are told, let your pitchers work out of the jams. Because the only way they're going to succeed as big leaguers one day is if they learn how to pitch out of tight spots. Requena with 2 outs on the board. It's a tie game. 3 runs on 7 hits for Idaho Falls. 3 runs on 5 hits for the Angels. Mario Lyson now digs in. Spent the last couple summers in the Dominican Summer League. And this is his first time in the States. First pitch, he'll pop this one up into center field. Felix Nunez will take a couple steps in, gets underneath it, and the inning is over. But the Idaho Falls Chukars collect 5 hits, score 3 runs. They tie the game up. We head to the bottom of the third here at Larry H. Miller Field, and your Angels coming up.
Time now to play the Barber Brothers Auto Group Show for the Dough. Tonight's contestant is Lane Harris. If Lane could throw 1 out of 3 baseballs into the hole in the Barber Brothers board, he would win $50. All right, here we go. Good try, Lane. Better enough select time. Better luck next time. Probably a little easier to sign up and be a fan of the game next time. Just go down to your Provo Marriott and sign up.
Back out here at Larry H. Miller Field, bottom of the third inning, J.R. Wren, Tim Duff, and Caleb Mayer to take their at-bats against Jake McConaughey. Fans, if you're looking to get your kids out to the ballpark this summer, we have a great opportunity for you to do it all for only $10. Your kids will come to all the Saturday games. They get a free Angels t-shirt. They're going to meet the team and have a little mini camp. $10, join the kids club. Get your youngsters involved this summer. First pitch to J.R. Renz. It'll be a strike, 0-1. Renz was the MVP in last night's contest, and it's a fly ball into left field. Taking a couple steps in is Alexander Bautista, and that'll be out number 1. So Renz flies out, and with one out on the board, Tim Duff makes his way in. Tim Duff out of the University of Tampa. Duff singled to open up the second inning, would eventually score on the Andrew Toussaint single. So Tim Duff does a good job behind the plate, calling the pitches for the Angels staff, and he'll take the first pitch. Good breaking ball, but inside, 1-0. Tim Duff from Pennsylvania went to the University of Tampa, so he wanted to flee down south and stay in the sunshine and play ball. And Duff will pop this pitch out, 2-0. In fact, Coatesville in Pennsylvania, just outside of Harrisburg, the capital of Pennsylvania. Tim Duff grew up going to Harrisburg Senator baseball games. 2 balls, no strikes. Jake McConaughey set, selling outside, but Felipe Del Rosario gets his glove on it. 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, Jake McConaughey pitched a very good game to open up the 2004 Pioneer League season. 7 innings, 3 hits, gave up no runs, but his Chukars committed 3 errors against him, so he ended up picking up the no decision in that game. The 2-1 pitch, outside, 3-1 to Duff. Tim Duff, who's excited to be drafted by the Angels, looks forward to his career in professional baseball. The 3-1, it'll be popped foul down the right field side to fill things up at 3-2. Tim Duff, 8 home runs, 38 RBIs at the University of Tampa. A good athlete. Bottom of the third, 3-3 score. 3 runs on 7 hits for the Idaho Fall Chukars. 3 runs on 5 hits for the Provo Angels. And Duff waiting patiently from the right side. Here's the pitch, going opposite field, past the first baseman, Brad Hayes. So Tim Duff with his second hit of the game, and it's a single on the opposite side of Brad Hayes. Caleb Mayer makes his way to the bat. Caleb, who played at Cedar Rapids last season, was a .233 hitter with 7 home runs. Mayer with the Angels is about hitting .310. He singled in the second inning as the Angels again try to put something on the board. Jake McConaughey set. Good breaking ball for a strike, 0-1. Jake McConaughey actually signed as a non-drafted free agent by the Royals last year, and McConaughey pitched 9 games in the Arizona League and has started off this season now with the Idaho Fall Chukars. Breaking pitch outside, 1-1 to Mayer. Caleb Mayer at first base has made some fine defensive plays this season along with Chris Walston. 2 guys who haven't really played a lot of first base before. These guys were outfielders in their collegiate days. The 1-1. High chopper to third base. Mario Lyson will go to second. Now the ball is away from the second baseman, Matt Ferrara, as it sails into right field. That'll be an E5 as a third baseman, Mario Lyson, overthrows his second baseman. So that error puts a runner at second, a runner at first, 1 out, and Mike Perdomo makes his way up. Mike Perdomo, who struck out in the second with 2 men on base, same situation he was in last inning, and a 1 out on the board. Perdomo from the right side. First pitch by McConaughey will be outside, 1-0. It's game one of a four-game set. If you want to come out to the ballpark, we'd love to see you. 377-2255 if you got a group. Got great group rates, $5 tickets for 25 to 100 of those tickets. And this entire week we're giving out magnet schedules to the first 500 in the ballpark. Perdomo taking a strike, 1-1. Perdomo missed the entire 2003 season, so his advancement through the Angels system has been halted as he's in his second season with the Angels, Provo that is. He'll get a piece of it and foul it back, 0-2. We'll look over the Major League scoreboard in the top of the fourth and let you know how the Angels are doing against the Oakland A's, as the Angels only a half game out of first place. Also get you up to date with what all your ex-Provo Angel players are doing as well. 1-2 to Perdomo. Tim Duff at second base, Mayer at first, 1 out, and the pitch will be high to even things up, 2-2. Jake McConaughey, in only his 11th game as a professional. He pitched 9 games last year in Arizona and opened up the 2004 season with a start against the Ogden Raptors. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Felipe Del Rosario, the catcher with the sign, grounded right to the shortstop, Ed Lucas. He'll flip the second one, but the throw to first is high, and now it bounces off of the glove of Bad Hayes, the first baseman, and that will bring home Tim Duff. Nobody was there to cover the first baseman. Tim Duff scoring is now 4-3 Angels. That should be a throwing error on the shortstop, bringing that run home. So Toussaint digs in. Perdomo at second base. Should be an infield single and then a throwing error, but we'll wait what the official scored his credit that with. 2 outs on the board. Andrew Toussaint from the right side. A line drive single in the second inning. And he'll take the first pitch over the plate. 0-1. 4 runs on 6 hits for the Provo Angels. 3 runs on 7 hits for the Idaho Falls Chukars. Bottom of the third. 0-1. Toussaint will swing through a fastball inside to be down on the count, 0-2. Jake McConaughey, the lefty. Idaho Falls, they want to see a good performance out of him, as he has struggled the past couple innings. It's been a couple errors against him. And Toussaint will take a pitch inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, when you're coming out to the ballpark, don't forget to pick up a Provo Angels souvenir program. One of the nicest looking programs, I would think, in baseball. The material is wonderful. The color's bright. Great stories, pictures, stuff for the kids to color in. It's a great program. Only $1 at the ballpark. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Andrew Toussaint, a Southern A&M product. Had a phenomenal season this year and a 13th round draft pick by the Angels. Mike Perdomo at second base. Here's the pitch, and Toussaint will foul it back. 2-2. The Angels, who lost 3 interesting games against the Casper Rockies in Wyoming. The 2 games on Sunday, they were both 5-4 losses. They stranded like 10 runners in each game. The ball skips away from Felipe Del Rosario, but that'll fill the count up. And I'm sure the Angels would love to go back to Sunday's contest and take those games back, as they could have easily come home with a 4-1 record, but those 2 games were quite interesting. Wind delay and chilly weather. But no sign of chilly weather here in Provo, Utah, as it's about 85 degrees outside. Perfect day for baseball. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Andrew Toussaint. And 2 outs on the board, runner at second. Jake McConaughey, the payoff pitch, it'll be outside, so Toussaint forcing a walk as he heads over to first, and now Ryan Leahy makes his way to the bat.
Next up for the Provo Angels, shortstop, number 3, Ryan Leahy.
Ryan Leahy out of Boston College. An RBI single in the second inning. Leahy stands at 5'9", 175 pounds, so he is stocky for his height. First pitch, breaking ball high, 1-0. Ryan Leahy, only 6'9". You don't see too many shortstops who make it to the big leagues who stand at 5'9". But Leahy has dreams. He was a free agent pickup by the Angels this season. And he's in a good spot with 2 men on base and 2 outs. 4-3 Angels. The Idaho Fall Chukars will be sending up the bottom of their order next inning. Here's the pitch by McConaughey, and it'll be low. 2 balls and no strikes. Anaheim Angels are playing the Oakland A's in Anaheim. They're in the top of the second of a scoreless game. Kelvin Escobar is not allowed to hit yet. Of course, it's only 2 innings old. Pitch will be on the inside part of the plate to Leahy, 2-1. And for you Kansas City Royal fans who might be listening, bottom of the 8th, the Tigers and the Royals at Kauffman Stadium. It's a 4-2 Kansas City lead. Ivan Rodriguez has hit his 10th home run for Detroit. But the Royals are holding on to that 2-run lead. And Ryan Leahy taking a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Log on to Provo Angel Baseballs throughout the season at sportsjuice.com. We'd actually love to see you at the ballpark when we're home. But when we're on the road, log on to Sports Juice. And drop me an email at jpeters@provoangels.com as we'll do some trivia questions in just a couple of innings. Ryan Leahy now with a full count against him as McConaughey tosses one outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Jake McConaughey has had a full count on 3 batters this inning, a 2-2 count to Perdomo, so he's thrown quite a few pitches here in the third. 3-2, Leahy, line drive, base hit past the third baseman into left field. Coming home is Mike Perdomo. The throw is wide, and the Angels with a 5-3 lead. A good piece of hitting by Ryan Leahy as he stays back, and I mentioned it during last night's game, and I'll mention it again. The Angels were not hitting the ball with runners on base during the first couple games, but it looks like they're being a little more patient, they're showing their skills, and they're connecting. Billy Boyer, batting from the right side, a switch hitter. Billy Boyer out of Washington, a 19th round draft pick last season, and he's got an RBI single as well today. 5-3 Angels lead. McConaughey set. Here's the pitch. Fly ball into center field. Going back is Sanchez Salazar, and that one is over the fence. Billy Boyer with a home run, and Salazar just almost looked like he lost it. But Billy Boyer was able to hit the home run. That's his second on the year, and the Angels now lead 8-3. So the Idaho Fall Chukars evening things up in the third by scoring 3 runs. But Billy Boyer smashes one to center field. It was good elevation. It wasn't anything monstrous, but Billy Boyer got it over the fence as Darwinson Salazar, the center fielder, just kind of turned around and let it go. All this happening with 2 outs on the board. It's now 8-3 Provo Angels, and Felix Nunez digs in. Nunez has been on base twice today. Once on a hit by pitch, and then in the second inning he reached on a fielder's choice. 1 ball and no strikes. Nunez waiting. And McConaughey gets one right back to him on the mound. He'll pick it up, throws it over to first base, and that'll end the inning. But the Provo Angels scoring 5 runs thanks to a Billy Boyer 3-run homer. They now lead 8-3 as we head to the top of the 4th. And the Chukars coming up.
Just a reminder, the sticker
Check, check. Good, huh? That sauce is good. It's like Italian dressing and like cheese or something.
If you'd like to sign up to be the fan of the game, make sure you go to the downtown Provo area and register to win. Because it's a whole heck of a lot of fun. And just like we announced, Seth is a brand new father. He has some baby puppies that he wants to give away. So see Seth, you want a puppy.
This should be programs, huh? Pretty nice.
They're allowed to mix.
Huh? Yeah. 5 years, man. You're doing 5 years, yep. 2 years. I was interning up in Salt Lake with the Stingers, Cloudkeep. Spent a year with the Padres in the booth as basically staff, pre and post game show. And then I was in New Jersey the past year and a half working for a team. And I did 2 years in San Diego State baseball. So kind of fun, you know. It's a fun job. I have a lot to learn though, man. So every night I try to work on a different thing. I listen to my tapes and like that.
Thank you very much. Way more crew. Also, the Provo Forum Chamber of Commerce, Corporate Hawaiian, and Nice Base.
Top of the 4th inning here at Larry H. Miller Field. Ed Lucas, Matt Ferrara, and Felipe Del Rosario to take their at-bats against Ricardo Requena. Requena's first pitch will be high and inside to Lucas. The Angels lead 8-3, scoring 5 runs in the bottom of the 3rd. Here against the Idaho Fall Chukars, Game 1 of this 7-game homestand. Lucas will take one outside, 2 balls and no strikes. It's the final. The Toronto Blue Jays defeat the Tampa Bay Devil Rays 2-1 as they snap the Devil Rays win streak. Good game by Toronto, a 2-1 game, but they scored their run in the bottom of the 10th. And it's a 3-0 count to Ed Lucas. So unfortunately for Tampa Bay, you can't win them all as the Blue Jays defeat them up in Sky Dome. Like I mentioned, the Baltimore Orioles defeat the New York Yankees 13-2. And in the bottom of the 9th inning, the Chicago White Sox down to their last couple at-bats as the Indians have scored 9 runs. The White Sox have scored 5 as they're in the bottom of the 5th at the new Comiskey Park. Paul Konerko has hit a couple home runs. Aaron Rowan has hit his 7th on the season. And on the 3-0 pitch, Requena will throw a strike, 3-1. Ed Lucas out of Dartmouth College, a 400 hitter there. Good enough to get drafted in the 11th round, and he will take a walk. First walk registered by Requena. And I mentioned it, he's got a very good strikeout to walk ratio. 3 strikeouts on the game. First walk for Requena. 8 runs on 8 hits for the Angels. 3 runs on 7 hits for Idaho Falls. Matt Ferrara. He'll take a pitch outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Ferrara homered in his first at-bat of the game. A 191 career minor league hitter, but obviously he's ready to climb the Kansas City Royals ladder. Requena's next pitch will skip away from Tim Duff, but he'll keep it close to the plate, 2-0. Log on to ProvoAngels.com for all your Angels information, game recaps, photos, what the Angels have been doing in the community, and where the Angels will be going next is our full schedule is on that website. That's ProvoAngels.com. 2 balls and no strikes to Ferrara. Requena set. Here's the pitch, and it'll be high. 3-0. So Requena opened up 3-0 to Lucas and now has a 3-0 count to Matt Ferrara. Activity going on now in the Provo Angels bullpen. It looks like it's Fernando Rodriguez warming up, the right-hander. 3 balls, no strikes. Requena set, and it'll be a strike on the inside part, 3-1. We're in the top of the 4th inning, 8-3 Angels. at beautiful Larry H. Miller Field. It's opening night. Just a perfect day for baseball. The fans are packed in here. And this pitch will bounce off of Matt Ferrara's arm, first base. So it was either going to be a walk or a hit by pitch. Requena takes the hit by pitch, so puts 2 men on base. No outs, and now Felipe Del Rosario will make his way up. Tampa Bay Devil Rays got that 13-game winning streak snapped. It had to happen sooner or later, says ESPN Baseball, as Toronto defeats them 2-1 up at Skydome. The Devil Rays have one of the top farm systems in baseball. The Angels have the 3rd best farm system in all of baseball. In fact, if you look at the top 3 farm systems across the country, 3 of those teams, the Dodgers, Brewers, and Angels, have their rookie league teams here in the Pioneer League. Felipe Del Rosario, a .266 career hitter. This is his 3rd season in the Royal system and playing minor league baseball. Del Rosario will take one high and inside 1-0, so it looks like Requena is losing a little bit of his command right here, as he's throwing a lot of pitches inside. A lot of them are sailing high. Fernando Rodriguez warming up in the Angels bullpen. The 1-0 pitch, outside part of the plate, evens things up. The popcorn man is walking around. The peanuts man is walking around. Cotton candy, drinks. Baseball is alive here at Larry H. Miller. Del Rosario will foul one back, and he's down to the count 1-2 with Darwinson Salazar in the on-deck circle. Matt Hensel behind home plate calling the balls and strikes. He was up in Casper with us doing the umpiring, so the Angels are becoming accustomed to his style. Low and in the dirt, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Join us the rest of this week, and then Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week as the Angels are in town. An 8-day, 7-game homestand. 4 against Idaho Falls, and then 3 games against the Ogden Raptors before the Angels go up to Idaho Falls for a couple of games. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Requena coming in with the pitch, high and inside, a full count to Felipe Del Rosario out of the Dominican Republic. The Idaho Falls Chukars played a great game yesterday against the Ogden Raptors. A grand slam in the 9th inning helped them defeat the Raptors 9-6 in Ogden. 3-2. The pitch is high. The bases are loaded. Kochman most likely will be making a trip out, and he will. So Kochman will be making a pitching change. Fernando Rodriguez will be coming in. The bases are loaded for Idaho Falls. We'll be back after this break as you're listening to SportsJuice.com, home of the Provo Angels. You gotta get a freaking filing cabinet now. Got papers everywhere. Top of the fourth innings, Ricardo Requena has been taken out for Fernando Rodriguez. The bases are loaded. A walk, a hit by pitch, and then another walk has loaded things up for the Chukars. And right when you think the Angels get some momentum going their way, they score 5 runs in the bottom of the third to take an 8-3 lead. The Idaho Fall Chukars come right back, bases loaded, no outs. Fernando Rodriguez making his second appearance of the season. Rodriguez pitched 2 1/3 innings against the Rockies, gave up a couple hits, a couple runs, a walk, and no strikeouts. As Fernando Rodriguez gets ready to take on Darwinson Salazar. Fernando Rodriguez from El Paso, Texas, an 18th round draft pick last season. Darwinson Salazar, his 5th season playing professional baseball. He swings and gets a piece of it, but it goes foul, 0-1. Darwinson Salazar, a .237 hitter. 2 years at the Dominican Summer League, 1 season in the Gulf Coast League, and then last year was playing in the Arizona League. Darwinson slowly making his climb through the Royal system. 0-1, and it'll be low to even things up with a ball and a strike. Darwinson Salazar, only 21 years of age, so he got started pretty early. He's still a good athlete. And obviously the Royals see a lot in this young ball player. Ground ball, foul down the third base side as Angie Toussaint gives a chase, but it's on the other side of the third base bag, the foul side. 1-2. When thinking of situations like this, of great pitchers that can get out of this jam, none come to mind except Lefty Grove. Lefty Grove, the great pitcher for the Philadelphia A's. He'd have the bases loaded against the Yankees, and he'd strike out Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Bob Musial, all on 3 pitches. He did that quite often. It's one of those guys that you know can get out of this kind of a jam. And obviously Fernando Rodriguez is nowhere close to being a Lefty Grove, but I'm sure Kochman and the rest of the staff for the Provo Angels are looking at him right now to get out of this jam. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Salazar. A ground ball would be huge. Here it is, low and inside, and it'll fill things up at 3-2. So Fernando Rodriguez, who last year pitched in Arizona, has a full count against him, against Salazar here in the 4th. It's an 8-3 Angels lead, but the Chukars are threatening. Just gets on top of this pitch and pulls it foul right in front of the dugouts for the Provo Angels. Keeps it at 3-2. Go ahead and log on to FutureAngels.com and get all your Future Angels information. Everywhere from Mesa to Cedar Rapids on up to AAA Salt Lake. Future Angels getting you locked for your ex-Provo players. Liner into center field, but not having to move is Felix Nunez. The runner at third will score. Nunez going to third on the throw. A strong throw, but it's just wide. A sacrifice fly for Darwin Salazar brings home the 4th run for Idaho Falls. And now, runners at the corners. 1 gone, Lucas scoring. Matt Ferrara at third base. Felipe Del Rosario at first. And Brad Hayes, in his first ever season playing professionally, a 15th round draft pick out of Arkansas, and he put up some good numbers, some good power at Arkansas. Defense on their toes. Caleb Meyer, the first baseman, holding the runner at the bag, and Hayes will swing through the first pitch, 0-1. Enjoy your Provo Angel games Monday nights. It's family night at the ballpark. 5:05 start. Bring the family out and enjoy great on-field activities. Enjoy exciting Provo Angels baseball. That's Monday nights all season long when the Angels are in town. In fact, the Angels will be playing a doubleheader against Helena on July 19th, so that'll be an exciting evening of baseball. $8 Superbox tickets, $6 reserved seating. The 0-1 pitch, it'll be outside, 1-1. Fernando Rodriguez with runners at the corners. The middle infielders in double play depth as the second baseman Billy Butler playing close to the bag. Caleb Mayer holding the runner at first. Brad Hayes with an open batting stance. And throwing the pitch outside again is Rodriguez, 2-1. And obviously as a batter, when you have that open stance, you're going to pull about 85% of your pitches will be pulled into left field. So Caleb Mayer, the first baseman, holding the runner on, doesn't necessarily need to worry about anything getting lined his direction, but you never know. 2 balls and a strike. Fernando throwing over to first base. We'll look over the Anaheim Angels statistics and let you know all the guys with the Angels who are hitting the ball with authority this season. Liner pulled to third base. Toussaint bobbles it momentarily, has to make a strong throw to first, and in time is going to be Brad Hayes as he beats out the throw. So Toussaint bobbling that ball. We'll wait and see what the scoring is. It could be an E5. It should be, but we'll wait and find out as another Idaho Fall run scores. They've now scored 2 runs here in the 5th. And it is an E5. So a throwing error by Toussaint. That is an obvious play, but you never know. Sometimes the official scores see things differently. Alexander Bautista from the right. He'll chop 1-2. Toussaint at third. Is it fair? It is. He's going to step on third. The throw over to first is not in time. And did the runner slide in safely? And it looks like the umpire saying that he was safe. And now Fernando Rodriguez pointing to third base as they're arguing. So the bases are loaded. Now Kochman comes out because the ball was hit to Toussaint. And Rob Savage, the field umpire, will be talking with home plate umpire Matt Hensel to find out exactly what happened. It looked like Toussaint had that by about half a step. Or I should say half a slide. Toussaint caught the ball, stepped on third, and threw to first, and it'll be an infield single. What looks like is Toussaint might have threw the ball before actually stepping on third. So Toussaint's bases are now loaded, and Billy Butler, the DH, digs in. An 8-5 Provo Angels lead. But the Idaho Fall Chukars have a little situation brewing. Here's the pitch, Rodriguez, and it'll be over the plate to Butler, the 14th overall pick out of high school. This year, a lot of the top picks were coming out of high school. As Matt Bush was taken first overall by the Padres. Jared Weaver was taken by the Angels in the 12th round, but right now they're in the middle of negotiating contract. He wants this much. Scott Boras is his agent. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Jared Weaver this season. 0-2 to Butler, and he'll foul one back to keep the count at no balls and 2 strikes. Butler only hitting about 150 since becoming a professional, but like any young ball player, he'll adjust, he'll learn how to hit the ball better. No balls and 2 strikes. Here it is. Grounder up the middle. Is anybody going to be there? Nobody will. As second baseman Billy Butler dove, the runner going to come home and score. 2 runs, that is. And it is now an 8-7 Angels lead. The Idaho Fall Chukars have scored 4 runs this inning. Brad Hayes coming across to score. Felipe Del Rosario scoring. And a clean single by Butler right through the middle. There was nothing too powerful about that hit. It's just the fielders weren't necessarily there to get to that baseball, and it's a 1-run game all of a sudden. Alexander Bautista at second, and the first pitch to McFall will be a strike. 8 runs on 8 hits for the Angels, 7 runs on 9 hits for the Chukars. Rodriguez set. This one grounded right to Boyer. Should be 2. He flips to second for 1. Back to first. And that'll end the inning. So a 6-4-3 double play. But the Idaho Fall Chukars score 4 runs. It's a 1-run contest. We head to the bottom of the 4th here in Provo, Utah. Bottom of the fourth inning, Michael Hughes, J.R. Renz, and Tim Duff to take their bats against new pitcher Lucas Palmer. This is Palmer's third season playing baseball here professionally. Lucas Palmer, 6'3", 200 pounds, out of Baker, Oregon. He started off in the Gulf Coast League last season, or in 2002, moved on to the Burlington Bees, and then in 2003, after getting injured, was playing in the Arizona League. So Lucas Palmer, 21 years of age, played 1 year of college ball before getting picked up by the Royals. And it's interesting because the Angels had a 3-0 lead. Idaho Fall Chukars came back with 3 runs in the third. Then the Angels scored 5 in the third inning. And then Idaho Falls came back with 4 in the fourth. So an offensive game right now, 8-7 Angels on top. As Michael Hughes is at the bat from the right side. He's got 2 ground outs today. Palmer with the pitch, ground ball right to the shortstop. Ed Lucas makes a throw over to first, and that'll be out number 1. So Michael Hughes has grounded out 3 times today. 1 gone, and now J.R. Renz makes his way up. J.R. Renz last night against the Casper Rockies. Last night the Rockies had a 4-0 lead before the Angels put their first run on the board. Renz was responsible for 6 runs last night, bringing home 5 and scoring another one. Renz fouls the ball back, 0-1. J.R. Renz is just grateful to have a chance to be playing professionally. A 4th-round pick by the Angels back in 2002. A .241 hitter his first 2 seasons. Outside by Lucas Palmer, 1 ball, 1 strike. J.R. Renz from Tulsa, Oklahoma, a switch hitter. Waiting is the 1-1, and he'll get a piece of it and foul it back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So the sun's completely set. The lights are out, on. The ball players are enjoying baseball. First game here at Larry H. Miller Field. Game 1 against the Idaho Fall Chukars. Renz waiting from the right. This pitch will be popped foul, right field side. Mario Lyson at third base, Ed Lucas at short, Matt Ferrara at second, and Brad Hayes playing first base for the Chukars. So a decent defense. A lot of those guys are big draft picks by Idaho Falls. And Renz the switch hitter. So open up the 5th inning. We'll have this Dayton baseball history for you. We'll find out and test your baseball knowledge. Renz fouls it back, 1-2. And also we'll have a couple trivia questions. The winner of these trivia questions, if you're locally out here in the Provo area, we'll get you a couple tickets to a Provo Angels ball game this year. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fly ball to the infield, popped up to Matt Ferrara at second. All he's got to do is look up, pick up the ball, and there are 2 outs. Renz is gone, and now Tim Duff will make his way in. This day in baseball history, 1973, the Phillies, Ken Brett, the younger brother of George Brett, hits a home run in his 4th consecutive game. What makes this feat so interesting is the fact that Ken Brett was a starter. In 4 straight starts, Ken Brett hits home runs. Goes 4-0 in those games. Very unique. No pitcher has ever come close to accomplishing what Ken Brett did. Ground ball right to the second baseman. Bounding hop, throws over to first, but it'll be wide as Matt Ferrara had to hurry. It was a slow roller, and that'll be an infield single for Tim Duff. So Duff singling to second base. His 3rd hit in 3 innings. And it'll be Caleb Mayer digging in. But yeah, this date, 1973, 31 years ago, Ken Brett did what no other pitcher has even come close to doing. Mayer from the right side. And the first pitch he takes, it'll be high, 1 ball, and no strikes. 8 runs on 9 hits for the Provo Angels. 7 runs on 9 hits for the Idaho Fall Chukars. It's game 1 of a 7-game homestand here at Larry H. Miller Field. The pitch to Mayer. Back to the screen. 1-2. Caleb Mare's a unique player. He played the entire season last year with Cedar Rapids. Was 7 home runs, 46 RBIs. Not overpowering numbers, but you would think he'd at least get his start this year in Cedar Rapids. But they decide to wait and send him to Provo to open up this season. The 1-1 pitch. Again, this one will be foul. And obviously with the Provo Angels having so much talent in their farm system, again, the third best minor league system in baseball, the Angels have a lot of guys who could probably be starting at higher levels on other teams, but when you're playing for the Angels, you got to kind of take it when it comes. 1-2. Swung on and missed. Caleb Mare will strike out. That ends the inning. The Angels strand a runner. They lead by 1. We head to the top of the 5th, and the Chukars coming up. Top of the 5th inning, Mario Lyson, Ed Lucas, and Matt Ferraro to take their at-bats against the Provo Angels and Fernando Rodriguez. It's a 1-run contest, 8-7 Angels on top, but every time the Angels have pulled ahead, Idaho Falls has come right back. Idaho Falls, they've been around for quite a while. In fact, we'll go ahead and look over the alumni report as the Idaho Falls right now have a handful of guys in the big leagues. Tony Graffinito played here with Idaho Falls in 1991. He's currently with the Royals. Matt Clement, pitcher with the Cubs. He was with Idaho Falls back when they were a Padres farm team. Also, Jeremy Feacock, Ben Howard, Brian Lawrence of the Padres, Rodrigo Lopez, Rookie of the Year a couple seasons ago, Jake Peavy, and Oliver Perez. All of them playing with Idaho Falls at one time or another. The official alumni report for the Chukars. First pitch to Mario Lyson will be a little bit high, 1-0. It'll be Lyson, Lucas, and Ferrara against Fernando Rodriguez. Next pitch by Rodriguez, lined into the gap of left center. That one's going to take a hop and roll all the way to the wall. Lyson heading to second base, and that'll be a leadoff double to open things up. Mario Lyson, good piece of hitting. His first hit against the Angels this season, a line drive double. And it's going to be Ed Lucas coming up. So, Idaho Falls, 3 wins and 2 losses. The Royals don't have the best farm system in baseball, but obviously when the guys are at these lower levels, they tend to hit the ball with more authority. Lucas, an 11th round draft pick out of Dartmouth. He'll ground a ball past the second baseman, Boyer. Coming home is going to be Mario Lyson. Here's the throw by J.R. Renz. Good throw, the tag applied, but he's safe. A good throw by Renz. He's got a strong arm, but it was behind the plate, so Duff had to spin around to apply the tag. And by that time, Lyson was able to sneak his foot over the plate. So it is now tied up 8-8 on a single to the opposite field by Lucas. You would think that an 8-3 lead is good enough to maybe kick back and read the newspaper, drink a cup of lemonade while you're playing, but this Chukars team has come right back as it's all tied up. Matt Ferrara. Runner going. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. A good throw by Duff, but it's going to bounce out of the glove of Billy Boyer, the second baseman. So Lucas stealing his first base of the season. He was caught in the second, but a little surprise steal right there. Now Ferrara did swing at that pitch. I'm not quite sure if it was a hit and run or if he just wanted to put the ball in play so his runner wouldn't get thrown out. No balls and a strike. Runner at second. Rodriguez getting set. Here's the pitch. And it's fouled off of his helmet. 0-2. Top of the fifth inning, the Arizona Diamondbacks have a 1-0 lead over the San Diego Padres at Petco Park. Randy Johnson going for the D-backs. He's opposed by David Wells of the Padres. So a good little pitchers duel going on. Kind of a replay of the 2001 World Series. At least same pitchers who pitched in the series. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ferrara. Top of the third, the Giants and the Dodgers up at Pac Bell, and San Francisco has a 3-2 lead as Jeff Weaver is pitching for the Dodgers. And that runner will take third base on a pass ball. We think Lucas taking third, so 2 balls, 2 strikes, infield. Not playing in right here. They're still in their normal depth. And now Andrew Toussaint leading the charge as he comes in on the grass. A couple steps off of the grass at third. And the pitch, it'll be popped up into right field. J.R. Renz will make a run for it. That should be deep enough to score Lucas as he will trot home for the 9th run for the Idaho Fall Chukars. They've come back and taken the lead on a sacrifice fly by Ferrara. So it's interesting just how quiet the crowd all of a sudden gets when they were so pumped up just a couple of innings ago. The Chukars lead 9-8. Felipe Del Rosario with the bat. 1 hopper right to Billy Boyer at second. Makes a strong throw over to first. And there are quickly 2 gone now. Other games in the big leagues, it's a final. The St. Louis Cardinals defeat the Cubbies 10-8 down at Busch Stadium. As Albert Pujols hits his 20th home run. The Cardinals and the Cubs in quite a battle right now in that National League Central Division. First pitch to Darwinson Salazar is a ball, 1-0. And also at the final, the Florida Marlins shut down the Atlanta Braves 6-0 as Brad Penny pitching a good game. Liner right to Toussaint at third. He'll take it on a hop, throws over to first base, and that ends the inning. So the Idaho Fall Chukars score a couple of big runs as they take the lead 9-8. We head to the bottom of the 5th, and the Angels 7, 8, and 9 hitters coming up. 9 runs on 11 hits for the Idaho Fall Chukars. 8 runs on 9 hits for the Provo Angels as the Chukars have come back after trailing 8-3 this contest. They score 4 runs in the 4th and a couple more runs in the 5th to take the 9-8 lead. It's going to be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters due up for the Provo Angels. Mike Perdomo, Andrew Toussaint, and Ryan Leahy. And this gives me a chance to basically just let you know, if you're looking to do some advertising with the Provo Angels, we would love to have your business. We have an opportunity for you to come down to the ballpark, set up a booth on the concourse level, hand out pamphlets, information, magnets, anything you'd like to for a very low price. We can do this for the entire season or for random games. Give us a call, 735-5496, and let's get you set up with the Provo Angels Marketing Partners Group. Mike Perdomo, first pitch will be a foul ball down the right field side. 0-1. Perdomo, an infield single in the 3rd inning, would eventually score. And Perdomo also struck out in the 2nd. 0-1. Perdomo swung on and missed, 0-2. Bottom of the 5th, 9-8 Idaho Falls lead. As the Angels must feel a little shocked right now. They had a good lead, and this goes to show you that Idaho Falls, they're a pretty good team this year. They've scored, averaged about 10 runs a game the last 4 games they've played in. Ball outside, 1-2 the count. Lucas Palmer working his 2nd inning. The pitch to Perdomo, he will swing and miss, and that is strikeout number 2 for Lucas Palmer, and the first this inning. If you're looking to purchase some season tickets, we still have a couple available in the Superbox area. $250 for a Superbox season ticket, and $185 if you like a reserved seat season ticket. So give us a call. 377-2255, and Andrew Toussaint, the batter. Toussaint, he'll take the first pitch inside, 1-0. Toussaint, the 13th round draft pick out of Southern A&M, and he's had some strong numbers in his collegiate days. He has scored 2 runs already today. Toussaint, a high fly ball to left field. Elevated, going back is Alexander Bautista. There's no way he's going to get that one. As it is over the fence, it bounces onto the street. That is some power. Toussaint sending an explanation right there as it was rocketed a mile high, and that ties the game up at 9-9. First professional home run for Andrew Toussaint is a blast. The second home run hit by an Angels batter here in Provo today. And it must feel good to hit that first home run of the season, or I should say first home run of the career. And Ryan Leahy now shows bunt, rolling right back to the mound. Lucas Palmer will field it himself, throws over to first base, and Leahy is out number 1. What a shot that was by Toussaint. It was just up in the sky and over the wall, bounced onto the road, ties the game up 9-9, and now Billy Boyer, who hit a 3-run homer in the 3rd inning, digs in. Billy Boyer's turned around right now. He's batting from the left side. Boyer a switch hitter, and Lucas Palmer getting set. Here's the pitch, high fly ball into center field. Going back is Salazar. He's going to catch it on the warning track, falling over. And it looks like he made the play, so that should end the inning. And the umpire's not necessarily watching that, but that'll end the inning. But Andrew Toussaint ties the game up with his first ever professional home run. We head to the top of the 6th. It's all tied up at 9-all. I didn't get that home run recorded. told him I was going to give it to him, too. I'm like, I'll record your first home run and give you a copy of it. Man. He struck out. Struck out swinging. The new pitcher. Chris Waters. Top of the sixth, new pitcher on the mound for the Provo Angels is the right-hander Chris Waters. So Chris Waters he's just 2 innings already this season, 5 hits, a couple runs. Waters has 3 strikeouts on this young season. So Chris Waters is on. Fernando Rodriguez leaves the game, and it's all tied up. 9 runs, 11 hits for the Chukars. 9 runs, 10 hits for your Provo Angels. Chris Waters, out of the University of Northern Florida. He's a good guy. 16th round draft pick by the Angels. Chris Waters put up good numbers at the U of Florida. He's going to be facing off against Brad Hayes, Alexander Bautista, and Billy Butler here in the sixth. Hayes from the right side. Here's the pitch. And Waters will deliver the first one outside, 1-0. Brad Hayes, a 15th round draft pick. He's 1 for 3 today with a single, a line out. He reached on an error in the 4th inning and has scored 2 runs. Though 1-0, that one will be on the outside part of the plate. A ball and a strike. We got some trivia for you, just one moment. So get your computers ready. jpeters at provoangels.com. Hayes, swing and a miss, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Before Mike Scioscia was managing the Anaheim Angels, can you tell me who were the 2 managers who split time in 1999 before Scioscia came on board? Swing and a miss, the ball though gets away from Duff and taking first base. Good throw though by Duff. So it's going to be a strikeout, almost a pass ball, but Duff able to make the throw to first, and that is out number 1. But again, drop me an email, jpeters at provoangels.com. The last manager to manage the Anaheim Angels, Mike Scioscia, in his 5th year right now with Anaheim. We got a couple tickets for you to Saturday's game. Alexander Bautista, first pitch. It'll be on the outside part of the plate, 0-1. Bautista, 3 for 3 today with a single through the middle, a single into right field, and an infield single. So he's getting every kind of base hit you can get. Takes the ball, 1-1. You're listening to sportsjuice.com. Swung on and missed, 1-2. A good sponsor of the Provo Angels. And if you'd like to sponsor or donate money to the Provo Angels webcasting cause, give us a call at 377-2255. We'd love to get your name involved with all Provo Angel webcasts. We'd like to thank Millennial Marine for making this possible, and also a few other folks who have helped make this a reality. The next pitch to Bautista will fill the count up at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Bautista, a .367 hitter last year in the Arizona League. Waiting and getting a piece of it, fouling it back. So Bautista in his third year playing professionally. A .269 career minor league hitter. And they'll take the next pitch high, and that'll fill the count up. So it looks like a couple extra. Okay, that one did walk in. Looked like umpire was unaware of what was happening, but Bautista is walked with one out, and Billy Butler steps up. Don't forget to visit www.futureangels.com and get all your Future Angels information. Find out what's going on at AA Arkansas, AAA Salt Lake, down in Rancho Cucamonga and at Cedar Rapids. Find out what your favorite Provo Angel players are up to as well. There's a lot of them have been in the news as of late. Butler. From the right side, here's the pitch. Right on the inside part, 0-1. Dallas McPherson getting called up to AAA Salt Lake after hitting 20 home runs in Arkansas. He's on pace to hit like 35 this year. The next pitch to Butler inside, 1-1. In fact, Dallas McPherson went 3 for 3 last night with the Stingers, hitting his first AAA home run. And tonight the Stingers are taking on the Las Vegas 51ers up at Franklin Covey. One ball or no balls, 2 strikes. Billy Butler down in the count once again. Chris Waters getting the sign. Here's the pitch, grounded to Toussaint, and now he bobbles the ball. The shortstop, Brian Leahy, able to stop it from rolling any further, but that is the second error by Toussaint, and the third misplay that he's handled over there at third base. So a E5, that maybe could have been a bang-bang double play, around the corn double play, but instead, that puts runners at first and second, 1 out for Brian McFall. But Andrew Toussaint has very good power. That's one reason why he's in the lineup today. He's having a good offensive night, just not making the plays defensively. McFall will take one high, 1 ball and no strikes, as home plate umpire Matt Hensel. 9 runs, 11 hits for Idaho Falls, 9 runs, 10 hits for the Provo Angels. It is game 1 of a 7-game stand here at home, 4 against Idaho Falls, 3 against Ogden. As finally the season has started, 2 balls, no strikes to McFall. Bautista hits second base with good speed. Here's the pitch. High fly ball into left field. Michael Hughes floating over. Now the shortstop, Ryan Leahy. And it's going to be Hughes calling everybody off. So the shortstop, third baseman, and left fielder meet in that little Bermuda Triangle out there. But making the play is Hughes for out number 2. Mario Lisson, 2 seasons in the Dominican Summer League. Had a double to open up the 5th inning and would eventually score. Game is all tied up. Lisson, 1 for 3 today. Waters with the pitch, and it'll be over for a strike, 0-1. The Angels did a good job drafting this season. They got a lot of top collegiate players in their system, but a number of them are just kind of waiting to sign still. 0-2. Good strike down the middle by Waters. Defensively, everyone playing pretty much straight away. Center fielder Felix Nunez is a couple steps towards right. And here's the next pitch. It'll come inside to Lisson. 1-2. Top of the 6th. Beautiful ballpark, Larry H. Miller Field. A beautiful collegiate stadium. You know, there's a few collegiate ballparks in the country that are just gorgeous. And speaking of gorgeous, Waters striking out, Lisson looking on a pitch on the outside part of the plate. That ends the inning. So the Chukars fail to score any runs in the 6th. We head to the bottom of the 6th All tied up at 9 runs apiece.
Compete against each other for a free home-style turkey signature sandwich. The tasty full turkey freshly toasted. Freshly toasted bread. First man to pop their balloon is the winner. As a bonus, Yogi will provide some great coupons for all the men's and English winner section. Here are tonight's contestants. We have Jeremy Faust. Roger Schumacher. Good luck. And ready, set, go! Jeremy Faust is the winner. Jeremy, everybody in your section are winners.
Felix Nunez, Michael Hughes, J.R. Renz to take their shots here in the bottom of the 6th. 9 runs on 10 hits for the Angels. 9 runs, 11 hits for the Idaho Fall Chukars. Both teams have committed 2 errors. And the first pitch is going to be a strike to Nunez, 0-1. And they have the music playing during that pitch. I've never seen that before. As Nunez steps out of the box, they're waiting for the music to be turned off here. 0-1 to Nunez. Michael Hughes and J.R. Renz to follow. Lucas Palmer in his 3rd inning of work right here. The pitch will be foul off the end of the bat. 0-2 to Nunez. Nunez with some pretty good numbers in his minor league career. .333 last year in the Arizona League. Hit .348 with the Angels back in 2002. That only came at about 70 at-bats, but still a good hitter. But obviously the Angels' system is stacked with good outfielders. Again, Nunez gets a piece off the end of the bat and will foul it back to the screen. If you're looking to bring a group out to the ballpark this year and you're wondering, can I get in for a little less than I would normally pay? The answer is yes. If you have a group of 25 to 100 people, you get in for $5. You get your name announced over the PA system and put on the electronic scoreboard. So bring your group out. Give us a call at 377-2255. And be sure to come on out and enjoy Provo Angels baseball here at lovely Larry H. Miller Park. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nunez will swing through as he strikes out. 1 gone, and Michael Hughes makes his way in.
Number 16, Michael Hughes playing left field up to bat right now.
Looking over the National League scoreboard, the New York Mets lose to the Cincinnati Reds at Shea Stadium. A 6-4 Cincinnati Reds win as they scored 2 runs in the top of the 12th. 6 runs on 14 hits for the Reds. Sean Casey, 2 home runs, including the game winner in the top of the 12th. Hughes, first pitch, he will foul it back to the screen. Other games in the National League, it's the final. The Colorado Rockies hold off and defeat the Milwaukee Brewers at Miller Park 3-2. As Sean Estes with his 8th victory of the season, and Sean Chacon with his 14th save on the year. Lyle Overbay of the Brewers hitting his 8th home run, but it's not enough. Ground ball right to the second baseman, Ferraro, who gets it on his knees, throws over to first. There are 2 outs. J.R. Renz, the cleanup hitter, digging in. And one more final in the National League. The Pittsburgh Pirates defeat the Houston Astros 7-2 at Minute Maid Park. Jason Kendall with his 2nd home run on the season. The Pirates playing pretty good in that National League Central. It's like a 4-way race out there. Liner, 1 hopper, good backhand by Ed Lucas at short. Throw over to first is on time. 1, 2, 3 go the Provo Angels here in the 6th. It's the first 1-2-3 inning of the game. We head to the top of the seventh. 9-9 and the Chukars coming up.
For your chance to win the MVP Sports Lucky Program Ad Contest coming up next inning. Participate in the 7-inning stretch, please go to Portal A. All the kids wanting to participate in our 7-inning stretch, please go to Portal A. Make sure you stick around for the fireworks later also. The band Crenshaw will be playing live.
Always something you gotta work with, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, always something you're like, oh, let's fix that thing. You need to do this thing.
Trip to Disneyland, brought to you by Desert First Credit Union. That is in the 2004 program. It's only $1. There's plenty of coupons in there worth far more than $1. Hoagie Yogi is in there. Free sandwich, milkshake. The old war, only $1 program.
Top of the seventh inning, Ed Lucas, Matt Ferrara, and Felipe Del Rosario, the batters. It's a 9-9 contest. As Ed Lucas from Dartmouth College digs in. Chris Waters working his second inning, and the first pitch will be a ball outside, 1-0. Don't forget to log on to www.provoangels.com and get to know your Angels team a little better. A little bloop into right field. That'll be a base hit. Good piece of hitting by Lucas as he goes the opposite way. That's his third hit of the game. And once again, the Idaho Fall Chukars get their leadoff man on base. Fourth time, I mean. Lucas, decent speed. He was a 400 hitter at Dartmouth, and you might want to keep their eyes on him as Matt Ferrara digs in. Ferrara with a solo home run to open up the third. He'll lunge in a pitch outside and miss. 0-1. A 9-9 contest. The Angels and the Idaho Fall Chukars, game one of this 4-game series. Next pitch, it'll be fouled back, 0-2. Provo Angels baseball, exciting as it is, they've been playing winning baseball since they first got to Provo back in 2001. They've won the South Division every year, but they just have not walked away with the championship yet. They want to make that change this season. The 0-2 is outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ferrara. As the game draws closer and closer to the final innings here, it seems more and more important that the Angels put something on the board now, because you'd hate to go to the 9th inning trailing. Might as well put them on now. Swing and a miss by Ferrara. That's out number 1 here in the 7th, as Felipe Del Rosario digs in. Angels baseball, always a blast, a great place to spend your time this summer. Come on out, catch a Provo Angels baseball. Tickets are inexpensive, and the activities are always exciting. Chicken races, sleeping bag contests, so many great things. 1 ball and no strikes to Del Rosario. Chris Waters getting set. He's got a runner at first base and a strike over the plate to Del Rosario, who played in the Dominican Summer League for quite a while. Kansas City Royals are having a decent season. Got some good ball players. Obviously, Carlos Beltran on the blocks right now, and a lot of people wondering, where's Beltran going to go? 1-1, and the next pitch is going to be outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Home plate umpire is Matt Hensel. Out on the field is Rob Savage. At the Pioneer League level, they use 2 umpires. Everything above high A, they use 3 umps. In the big leagues, they can even use more than that. Kansas City Royals will be playing the Detroit Tigers tomorrow in an afternoon game before doing some interleague action in a repeat of the 1985 World Series. They'll be taking on the Cardinals. The pitch is outside, high throw by Duff. The tag is applied as Lucas steals his second base of the game. Again, Duff is throwing it a bit high, so evens up the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Or excuse me, 2-1. And Lucas now at second, 1 out on the board for the Chukars. And Dale Rosario will call time. So yeah, the Royals will be playing a weekend series against the Cardinals in a repeat of that wonderful 1985 World Series in which Brent Saberhagen was incredible. The Cardinals played great ball. A strike to Felipe to fill things up at 3-2. Del Rosario, the 9-hitter for the Idaho Fall Chukars. 9 runs on 12 hits. And 9 runs on 10 hits for the Angels. Waters set. Here it is. Swung through it. Strikes out. Chris Waters now has 4 strikeouts in his inning and 2/3 work so far. The Angels with no activity in the bullpen. The Idaho Fall Chukars with no activity in their bullpen. Darwinson Salazar, the only Idaho Fall batter who has not been on base today. He did have a sacrifice fly in the 4th inning, which brought home a run, and the first pitch he sees by Waters will be a strike. When the top of the 7th, first game of the 2004 season at Larry H. Miller Field. And we're already 6 games into the season. The Chukars, the new farm team for the Kansas City Royals. And outside, evening things up at 1-1. And they were the Idaho Fall Padres for so many years. Just changing the name to the Chukars. And obviously Kevin Green, the GM up there, and the rest of the Idaho Fall staff had a lot to do. Here's a throw to second base, trying to pick off the runner. Chris Waters, a good spin, but Lucas getting back safely. And that's kind of the same boat that the Angels are going in. They're going to have to completely get all new hats and memorabilia and photo balls because they will be changing as soon as this season is over. Swung through, 1-2 to Salazar. Brad Hayes in the on-deck circle. As the Angels tied things up in the 5th inning on an Andrew Toussaint home run. But the Angels led this game 8-3 at one point. A ball and 2 strikes on the outside part of the plate, just in the other opposite batter's box. 2-2 now. Last night the Angels were being taken care of. It was a 4-0 game. Rockies were leading before the Angels scored 12 unanswered runs. Good game by J.R. Renz last night. And then the team got on the bus. They left Casper around midnight. Got here this morning. Full counts to Darwinson Salazar. 2 outs on the board. Waters with the pitch. Ground ball right to the shortstop, Leahy. Good throw to first. And now it bounces away from the first baseman, Caleb Mayer. So it was wide into the stands. And so Salazar will take second base. That should have ended the inning. But in E6, Leahy came up with the ball, made what looked like a good throw, but it ended up being wide of the first baseman, Caleb Mayer. So Lucas scoring. It is a 10-9 Idaho Fall Chukars lead. And Lucas made that happen all by himself, stealing second base, and then scoring. Good heads-up play. Brad Hayes, 1 for 4. Ground ball to second. This should be routine for Boyer. He'll underhand it to first. And that one ends the inning. But the Chukars put a run on the board as they lead 10-9. We head to the bottom of the 7th. And the Angels coming up.
Okay, fans, it's time now to stand up, stretch them out, and sing along that old-time baseball classic.
Like a DJ. Sounds like a DJ. That old baseball classic. Cinco de Mayo world. 7th inning stretch. Bottom of the 7th. Lucas Palmer on the mound. He's already worked 3 innings, giving up 1 run, 2 hits, 3 strikeouts. Lucas Palmer will be taking on Tim Duff, Caleb Mayer, and Mike Perdomo. Well, Tim Duff, who's 3 for 3 today. He started off the season actually 1 for 6, so he wasn't really hitting the ball through his first couple games this year. But today, 3 for 3 with some clean base hits. He's also scored a couple of runs. As the Angels down to their final 9 outs, and they trail this game 10-9. They're on opening night at Larry H. Miller Field. Duff from the right side, and the first pitch will be a strike, 0-1. Brandon Wood, last night of the Cedar Rapids Colonels. Brandon Wood played here last season. A shortstop of all, he ends up winning the home run derby in the Midwest League All-Star game. The pitch bounces away from Billy Rosario, 1-1. And I think that's interesting because shortstops aren't supposed to win home run derbies. But Brandon Wood, the Angels' low-A team in Cedar Rapids, wins it. A ball and a strike. The pitch will be popped straight up. Felipe Del Rosario going to try to have a play on it as it's floating into the dugout, and he falls over. Well, luckily, some Idaho Fall Chukar players are there to catch him as the ball was in his glove, and then he fell over. So good attempt by Felipe Del Rosario, and that keeps Tim Duff alive for another at-bat. Not too many catchers are willing to do that, at least in the big league level. But one of them who does is Ivan Rodriguez. That was a big league play right there by Rosario. Tim Duff, a ball and 2 strikes. Bottom of the 7th, 10-9 Chukars on top. Palmer with the pitch, high fly ball, but foul down the left field side. Staying alive at 1-2. Now Lucas Palmer, 3 innings already he's worked. He's given up that 1 run. That was the Andrew Toussaint home run. But outside of that, a couple hits, 3 strikeouts. He's really come up and clean up Jake McCogna's mess. And has given the Chukars the lead, 10-9. Duff, batting from the right side, getting himself in position. Here's the pitch by Palmer. Grounder, roller right to the shortstop. Ed Lucas will scoop it up, throw over to first. It's a low throw, but makes the play. 6-3 grounder for out number 1 here in the 7th. If you're looking to do some sponsorships with the Provo Angels, we'd love to get you on board. Just because the season started doesn't mean there's no more time to advertise with the team. We have PA announcements. We got, obviously, concourse booth. You can come out and set up a booth and hand out brochures, magnets, stickers, whatever your company would like to. We can still get a press walk sign made for you at a good price. Inside to Kayla Mayer, 1-0. Give me a call at 735-5496. I can answer any of your sales and marketing questions, get you involved with the Angels here in the 2004 Pioneer League season. The 1-0. Kayla Mayer will pop this one up. First baseman Brad Hayes will dance around in foul grounds at first and will pick things up. So there are 2 outs. And Mike Perdomo digs in. Mike Perdomo, the designated hitter. 1 for 3 today with a couple of strikeouts. Perdomo didn't play at all last season as he was injured and out the whole year. And it has stopped his progression through the Angel system. He'll pop one back, 0-1. Perdomo from Miami, Florida, but born in Venezuela, a 19th round draft pick by the Angels. A good hitter in high school. Played a couple years of collegiate ball. He'll take a strike, 0-2. Lucas Palmer pitching a very good game right now. He's retired the last 7 batters he's faced, and 9 of the last 10, with the exception of that Andrew Toussaint home run. Throwing the ball inside. Perdomo gets out of the way. A ball and 2 strikes. Have you got the answer for our Anaheim Angels trivia question? I had said, who was the last manager to manage the Anaheim Angels right before Socha came here? Perdomo strikes out looking. 1, 2, 3 go the Angels. We'll get to that answer in the top of the 8th as the Idaho Falls Chukars lead this game 10-9.
We're not gonna take it. No.
All right, home run for the Kansas. Please go to Portal D. John and Steven Howland. John and Steven Howland.
Jimmy Buffett. Top of the 8th, Alexander Bautista, Billy Butler, and Brian McFall to take their shots against Chris Waters. A 10-9 Idaho Falls lead. And things are getting interesting here in Provo, Utah. This is the first game of the season. Our first game here at Larry H. Miller Field. Bautista, he's been on base all 4 times tonight. He'll take a pitch inside, 1-0. 3 singles. He walked, he has stole a base, and has scored a run. Bautista starting off pretty good for the Idaho Falls Chukars this year. Waters' next pitch will be outside. 2 balls, no strikes. We'll get you up to date with all the big league scores, and I'll get you finding out what the Angels are up to. Toussaint, a good play at third base, but the throw to first barely gets it by about half a step. Toussaint gloving that ball on the run and making a strong throw to first. for out number 1. So Bautista is retired. The Oakland A's lead the Anaheim Angels 3-1. They're at the bottom of the 6th. Mike Redmond on the mound for Oakland and Kelvin Escobar going for the Angels. Bottom of the 6th at Angel Stadium. First pitch, liner right into the glove of Ryan Leahy, who makes a jumping snag of it. That ball couldn't have been hit any harder, but Billy Butler sends it right to our 5'9 shortstop, who's some pretty good range on him. 2 quick outs in the 8th. Brian McFall makes his way up. He's struck out. He has an RBI single. He hit into a 6-4-3 double play, and he popped out to left field. So he's 1 for 4 today. He'll take a strike down the middle, 0-1. Also for you Royals fans who might be listening to today's webcast, the Royals defeat the Detroit Tigers 7-3 at Kauffman Stadium. 1-1 the count. 2 outs, top of the 8th inning. The Angels are down to their final 6 outs, and obviously trailing by 1 run. That's a lot better than trailing by 5. Grounder, Billy Boyer at second, makes the throw to first. Looks like he had just a split second of pulling it out of his glove, but 1, 2, 3 go the Chukars. First time tonight that the Chukars are retired in order. Bottom of the 8th coming up. It's a 10-9 Idaho Falls lead. You're listening to SportsJuice.com, home for Provo Angels action. Idaho Falls leads this contest 10-9. Bottom of the 8th inning, the Angels, Andrew Toussaint will be leading things off. And interesting. Toussaint scoring 3 runs tonight, responsible for 4 of the runs on the evening. In the first pitch, Toussaint sees inside for a ball, 1-0. Salt Lake Stingers are 14 games behind the Tacoma Rainiers. They're 27-46. Got a good offense, but their pitching has struggled. Stingers 14 back. Yesterday was game 1 of the second half. Ground ball right to the second baseman. Ferrara makes a clean throw to first. Clean toss, I should say. 1 gone as Ryan Leahy digs in. But the Stingers last night defeat the Las Vegas 51ers 8-6. Tonight, that game is just about over. As we'll get an update, the Salt Lake Stingers and the 51ers playing up at Franklin Covey. Ryan Leahy, a couple RBI singles today and some good defense. He did make 1 throwing error, but he made up with it with some of his other plays. He'll foul this ball to the first base side, as a couple of fans will fight over it. Or 1 fan will fight over it. Bounces around a little bit. Nothing in 1. Ryan Leahy out of Boston College. One of the hardest collegiate players to strike out past 2 seasons. 33 strikeouts and 34 at-bats. One of the top 50 in the nation. The 0-1 pitch to Leahy will be outside as it's back to the screen, 1-1. Again, if you're looking to come out to the ballpark, tickets $8 for Superbox, $6 for reserved and festival tickets, which are basically general admission tickets. Good time at the ballpark here in Provo. Not too much going on as far as professional sports in Utah County. Why not come down to support your Provo Angels? Only a bike ride away, a jog away, wherever you're at in Utah County. or a drive if you're out in Linden or anywhere roundabout Provo. 1-2 to Ryan Leahy. Batting from the right, here's the pitch by Palmer, and that'll be a base hit up the middle. Ryan Leahy, 3 hits today. He was a .310 career hitter at Boston College, and he brings that hitting with him here to the Provo Angels. It's his first time out of the Mountain States. And it looks like Ryan Leahy will be taken out of the game. So Leahy's taken out for a pinch runner. It looks like as Joshua LeBlanc at first. So Leahy's night is over. Billy Boyer digs in. LeBlanc at first base as the pinch runner. 1 out on the board. LeBlanc represents the tying run. And the throw to first base. Getting back safely is LeBlanc. Joshua LeBlanc, the highest drafted player on this Provo Angels team, but he hasn't been hitting the ball with authority as he still is in that adjusting phase. Again, the throw to first base. Lucas Palmer has worked 4 1/3 innings now and put some good numbers on the board. Billy Boyer, a 3-run homer in the 3rd inning, an RBI single in the 2nd. And he'll take one low and outside, 1 ball and no strikes. And come out to the ballpark, catch all the Provo Angels action. 377-2255 if you want to bring a group out. Or come out to the ticket windows, open up Monday through Friday. The 1-0, foul ball, third base side. Billy Boyer collected leadoff hits in the first 4 games of the season. Top of the first inning of the first 4 games, he led off with base hits. Played great baseball up in Casper. LeBlanc with great speed running. Here's the throw, the double cock, and Felipe Del Rosario had to get his hands on it. A great jump by Joshua LeBlanc. He was in top speed within seconds, milliseconds. LeBlanc with his first stolen base on the season, now in scoring position. 2 balls and a strike to Billy Boyer. Boyer from the left side, a switch hitter. LeBlanc at second as he is squatted down, ready to go. Here's the pitch, and it'll be fouled down onto University Avenue.
Parkway.
University Parkway. University Avenue is the other university. 2-2 to Boyer. Lucas Palmer has pitched 4 1/3 solid innings in replacement for Jake McCognick. He's only given up 1 run, 3 hits. That 1 run was the Andrew Toussaint home run. Looks towards second. Here's the 2-2 offering. And again, it's going to be a foul ball down that left field side. So Boyer hitting it the opposite way. The outfielder's actually shaded a bit towards left, as center fielder Darwinson Salazar is out in that direction. A pretty big gap in right center for Boyer. LeBlanc at second. Boyer will pull the pitch, foul down the first base side. The Provo Angels started the scoring as they put 3 runs on the board in the bottom of the second to take the 3-0 lead, but the Idaho Fall Chukars came right back, scoring 3 of their own in the top of the 3rd. So Provo decides, let's do it again. As they scored 5 in the bottom of the 3rd to take an 8-3 lead. Pitches high and inside and fills things up at 3-2. Scored 5 runs thanks to a Billy Boyer 3-run homer. They led 8-3, but the Chukars were not done. They put 4 on the board in the 4th, another one on the board in the 5th, and then put the go-ahead run on the board in the 7th. Outside, Billy Boyer takes a walk. So a good at-bat by Boyer as he fouled off a couple pitches. Took some questionable ones, and he finds himself on first. Felix Nunez, the batter. Third baseman Mario Lyson just out on the mound talking with his pitcher for a moment. A beautiful night for baseball here in lovely Provo, Utah, home of the Provo Angels. The advanced rookie league team for the Anaheim Angels. And the Pioneer League with 8 teams. 4 of the teams are located in Montana. And then Ogden, which is north of Salt Lake City, Idaho Falls, and in Casper, Wyoming. So the teams located up in these mountain regions. And the first pitch grounded right over the head of the pitcher. No one's going to get there. Shortstop has to hurry, and he's going to be safe. So pinch hitter clips in Romali. A little infield single as it went right over the head of Lucas Palmer. So pinch hitter clipped in Romali with a single to load the bases up. Both the second baseman and the shortstop were coming in on that ball, so there was nobody there to cover second. And Michael Hughes, 0 for 4 today, all ground outs. He's 1 for 15 as a member of the Provo Angels. But again, he had dominating numbers at the collegiate level. As I'm sure Tom Kochman is just waiting for Michael Hughes to break through. This is the best time to do so. He'll swing through it, nothing in 1. The infield for the Idaho Falls Chukars playing in. Michael Hughes out of the University of Illinois. 8 triples, 13 home runs, and 61 RBIs up in Chicago. No balls and a strike outside to even things up. Well, if the Angels have had a better opportunity to score than this, they actually have to look back to the 3rd inning. Right now, the base is loaded, 1 out. And these opportunities don't come around that often, especially when it gets late in the ball games. And Lucas Palmer has been throwing very good. Hughes, fly ball, drifting foul down the right field side. 1 and 2. Michael Hughes, a free agent pickup out of the University of Illinois. Despite his solid numbers, University of Illinois is a D2 school, Division II. But obviously what happens is at the end of the draft, they still need to fill up roster spots, and the Angels will make some free agent pickups. Michael Hughes, a ball and 2 strikes against him. Here's the pitch, a little grounder right to the first baseman off of his glove. So Michael Hughes will make it to first base safely, and scoring is Joshua LeBlanc, the tying run. So that's going to be possibly an E3 as it was right to the first baseman, Brandon Hayes, and it is going to be E3. So Hughes, at least getting the job done, punching it to the first baseman and bounced off and ricocheted. And now it's J.R. Renz who's due for a hit. Renz had an outstanding game last night. Tonight, though, he's 0 for 4. A couple flyouts and a couple ground balls, but the game is tied. 10 runs on 12 hits for the Angels. 10 runs on 12 hits for Idaho Falls. J.R. Renz could be considered a veteran. He'll swing through the first pitch, nothing in 1. Renz came up in these situations 3 times last night. Had an RBI double in the 5th. This is last time I'm talking about. Brought home 2 runs on a double in the 8th and 2 runs on a double in the 9th last night against Casper. High fly ball, center field. Should be deep enough to bring the run home. They're going to try to test it. Darwin Salazar with the throw, and it's going to be way off. And the go-ahead run advances as the Angels take an 11-10 lead. The ball gets away, and it looks like 2 runs are going to score on that play. So Billy Boyer scoring on the sacrifice fly. The ball then gets away from the fielders, and Felix Nunez is allowed to take home plate. So 2 runs score, And it's now 12-10 Provo. We mentioned that this would be the time to score the runs, and they do just that. As Renz with that sacrifice fly, 2 outs. Michael Hughes taking third base. And Lucas Palmer is out. So after pitching 4 great innings for the Idaho Falls Chukars, he runs into some trouble here in the 8th. Nothing too bad, just a little bloops here and an error there. And the Angels have scored 3 runs in the 8th. It's a 12-10 Angels lead. We'll go to a break here on SportsJuice.com as the Idaho Falls Chukars are making a pitching change. Larry H. Miller Field, a beautiful place to bring your family, great place to spend time with your college buddies. All summer long, Provo Angels baseball. Go ahead and come on out to the ticket booth. Get your Superbox tickets for $8, your reserve tickets for $6. As the Provo Angels right now with the runner at third, 2 outs, they have scored 3 runs here in the 8th to take a 12-10 lead. And Zane Carlson, the 30th round pick out of Baylor University, will come on to do some relief duty. They'll be facing Tim Duff of the Provo Angels. Zane Carlson at Baylor this season, 23 games, all relief, 33 innings pitched. He had 44 strikeouts, but his ERA was up near 5.5. Obviously, Zane Carlson has some good pitches as he gets a strike over the plate right there to Tim Duff, 0-1. 12-10 Provo Angels lead. 3 runs here in the bottom of the 8th. Carlson's next pitch will be swung on, and Duff won't have any business to do with that one as it's now 0-2. Stick with us as soon as the game's over. We'll give you a quick post-game show. Just recap the game and get you set for tomorrow's contest. As the Angels and the Idaho Falls Chukars will be playing Game 2 tomorrow at 7:05. 0-2 to Tim Duff. Here's the next pitch, and it is high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the Angels, at one point in this game, had an 8-3 lead, but the Idaho Falls Chukars came back and scored 7 unanswered runs. Angie Toussaint with a home run in the 5th was a help, and then in the bottom of the 8th, the Angels put 3 runs on the board. Next pitch, Tim Duff, going opposite field but foul. 1-2 remains the count. Right now in Anaheim, the Oakland A's have scored 2 more runs. They are in the top of the 7th as Oakland leads 5-1 over the Angels. Kevin Gregg now on the mound for Anaheim. So the Angels trailing by 4 runs in that contest. And the field umpire, Mr. Savage, out there in your second, says Tim Duff did not cross the plane. That evens things up at 2-2. Caleb Mayer in the on-deck circle. 12-10 Angels lead. A lot of offense during this contest. Duff waiting. Carlson's his pitch. And that'll fill things up.
When you're coming out to the ballpark this season, be sure to pick up a Provo Angels souvenir program. Beautifully done. Zach Fraser, the media relations director, put it together all himself. And this is coming from a guy who says he doesn't have any artistic abilities, but I would second him. That's a beautiful program they put together. A lot of great information in there on the Angels. Fly ball by Duff into right field, but right underneath it to make the out to end the inning. So Ryan McFall catching it on the line, but the Angels scored 3 runs. We head to the top of the ninth. Angels 12 and the Idaho Fall Chukars 10.
That does include our first place Florida Marlins team from Springfield. Thank you for being here. First place Florida Marlins. Okay, fans, it's time now for the Provo City Water Resources Trivia question. The first fan to report to the press box with the correct answer will win a baseball. Visiting fan to help cool at the game. It's going to cool you off. These great prizes provided by our friends at Provo City Water Resources. Okay, here is tonight's question. How much water did Provo Water Resources produce and supply to its customers on the peak usage day of 2003? And what day was it? 25,000? 25,000.
The second one you said.
Congratulations, Courtney Webb. You are number 41, Mitch Arnold is now pitching for your Provo Angels. Up to bat, number 7, Mario Lipson.
Top of the ninth inning, Mitch Arnold on the mound as he'll be facing off against Mario Lipson, Ed Lucas, and Matt Ferrara. First pitch of the ball high, 1-0. Mitch Arnold from Wyoming pitched in front of a lot of home crowd up in Casper and pitched pretty good. 2-0. Arnold, a good strikeout pitcher. We'll look at his numbers in just a minute. 2-0 to Lipson. Here it is. And it's a strike over the plate, 2-1. Mitch Arnold, a couple games, 3 innings, 6 strikeouts for Mitch Arnold. He is not allowed to hit so far this young season. Fly ball to center field. Going back is going to be Cliff Romali, and Remley will pick it up for out number 1. Don't forget to log on to ProvoAngels.com for all your Provo information. Game recaps, player positioning, all that fun stuff. Cliff Romali. Ed Lucas taking the first pitch, 1-0. Edwin Lucas, a couple base hits today. He's been responsible for 4 runs. And he'll take a strike over the plate, 1-1. But again, Provo Angels baseball, ProvoAngels.com for all your info. And Mitch Arnold getting set again. This one lined right up the middle. That's the first hit Mitch Arnold has given up this season. A line drive single by Ed Lucas, who's a pretty good hitter, turns out. 4 for 4 today. So Lucas on first, and now the tying run comes up to the plate. It's going to be Matt Ferrara. Ferrara, 191 hitter in 2 seasons in Arizona. And a big swing and a miss, 0-1. 12-10, Provo Angels on top. He scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 8th, giving them the lead. And Mitch Arnold, who is going to be the closer for the Provo Angels. 6 strikeouts, 3 innings. His first hit was by Ed Lucas just now. Hard swing and a miss, 0-2. And this is a guy who pitched Legion ball. Went to California to play junior college because there really was no opportunities for him in Wyoming. And ends up being a draft pick by the Angels in the 23rd round. No balls, 2 strikes, low. 1-2 to Matt Ferrara. And Matthew Ferrara at the bat right now, a good hitter. Played in the Arizona League last year, like we mentioned. 6 foot, 195-pounder. Ferrara hit that home run in the 3rd, and he got the Idaho Fall Chukars rolling. The 1-2 outside, swung on, missed, and Ferrara is out number 2. And Mitch Arnold now has 7 strikeouts in his first 3 2/3 innings this season. Mitch Arnold with a save already this season, trying to pick up his 2nd. And the first pitch to Del Rosario will be high, 1-0. The Angels had an 8-3 lead earlier in this game. The Idaho Fall Chukars made a comeback. High, 2-0. The Angels did a good job despite Lucas Palmer pitching some great innings in the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. The Angels bullpen was able to pretty much hold off Idaho Falls during the last 4 innings of this contest. Rosario foul out. 2 balls and 1 strike. We'll give you one final look over the Major League scoreboard before we get out. As soon as this game is over, we'll do a quick post-game show and get you set for tomorrow's contest. Outside to Del Rosario, 3-1. Felipe is 0 for 3 today. He walked and scored a run in the 4th. He's one of 2 Idaho Falls Chukar batters to not have hits today. Idaho Falls with 13 hits on 4 errors. And the Angels, 12 hits, 3 errors. Mitch Arnold throwing this one low. Del Rosario going to first base. And now the situation is a little interesting because Darwin Salazar, the center fielder, comes up. He has more playing experience than any other Idaho Fall batter. It looks like Darwin Salazar will wait. Are they bringing in a pinch runner? 12-10, Provo Angels. They did bring in a pinch runner, I believe, first base. And it's number 2, Geraldo Valentin. So Valentin is at first as the pinch runner representing the tie-in run. Darwinson Salazar representing the go-ahead run. First pitch he'll take by Arnold is a strike. Mitch Arnold, an aggressive pitcher, stands at 6'9", 230 pounds. Mitch Arnold intimidating out there on the mound as he just dominated the Casper Rockies despite the Angels losing 3 of those 5 games. The next one is outside, 1-1 to Salazar. Don't forget, coming out to the ballpark anytime during the day and pick up your tickets at the ticket window. $8 Super Box, $6 reserved and general admission. And if you're planning on having a birthday party, we have birthday bashes here at the ballpark as well. A flare into center field, dropping quickly in front of Cliff Romali. And now he bobbles the ball. The runner at third base will have to hold up. And it is now a 1-run game as Darwin Salazar singles to shallow center field, bringing home Ed Lucas at second. Felipe Del Rosario, who is being pinch run by Geraldo Valentin, is at third. And with 2 outs on the board, Zeke Zimmerman is going to come out and talk with Mitch Arnold for just 1 minute. Warming up in the bullpen for the Angels, just in case, is number 21, Michael Cox. So Cox is warming up.
Eddie Solis will come in as a pinch hitter for Brad Hayes. And Solis played in the Arizona League last year, has a chance to help his Idaho Falls team out. The same thing happened last night, kind of, but the Idaho Falls Chukars ended up scoring 4 runs in the top of the ninth in defeating the Ogden Raptors. Runners at the corners, 2 outs on the board. It's a 1-run contest, top of the ninth, and Mitch Arnold will throw the first one outside, 1-0. A high-scoring game today at Larry H. Miller Field. This is the first game of the homestand. It's opening night at Larry H. Miller. Now Arnold delivering it inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Mitch Arnold on the mound. Michael Cox over in the bullpen, just standing, waiting for his opportunity. This is a huge at-bat. Swung on and missed. 2 balls and a strike. Again, the Angels, who scored 8 runs in the second and third innings combined, thought that was enough to hold on, but the Idaho Falls Chukars have made a good comeback. Here's a pitch. Runner going. They're not going to worry about him at second. As Geraldo Valentin steals that base, first base open. It's a 3-1 count to Edwin Solis right here. 3 balls, 1 strike, and now home plate umpire Matt Hensel allowing the batter to call time. Angels baseball, this is the first game of 36 home dates this season. So come out to the ballpark, support your Provo Angels. 3-1 pitch, grounded right to the second baseman, catching it back at the bag, throwing to first, and that'll end the game. So Joshua LeBlanc taking a couple steps back at second, throwing it to first, and the Provo Angels hold on for a 12-11 victory as Mitch Arnold picks up his second save on the season. We're going to go to a break. We'll bring it right back out here to recap all your Provo Angels highlights in today's opening day at Larry H. Miller Field.
Your Provo Angels with a thrilling home opener. Be sure to stick around because there's more great entertainment to come and great show. Fireworks are going to follow. Stick around.
Final score, Provo Angels 12, the Idaho Falls Chukars 11. The Angels scoring 3 runs in the bottom of the 8th to eventually seal the deal. The Idaho Falls Chukars gave it a little bit of a ride in the 9th with runners on 3rd and 2nd. It was a 1-run game, but a ground ball to Joshua LeBlanc at second ends the game as Mitch Arnold picks up his second save for the Provo Angels this season. The Angels actually started off playing pretty good in the game, scoring runs in the second inning to take a 3-0 lead. But Idaho Falls came right back, top of the 3rd. Matt Ferrara leading off with a home run and a couple of infield singles, tied things up at 3-all. And the Provo Angels said, you know what, we're going to score even more runs. So they came out in the bottom of the 3rd, and with 2 outs on the board, they were able to score 4 runs, 3 of them coming on a Billy Boyer 3-run shot, 5 runs total in the 5th, as they led 8-3. Idaho Falls Chukars came right back again, top of the 4th. Idaho Falls scored 4 runs, making it an 8-7 game. They would take the lead in the 5th on a sacrifice fly by Matt Ferrara, giving them a 9-8 lead. Angels would tie things up in the bottom of the 5th as Andrew Toussaint hit a solo home run, a monster home run. But then the Idaho Falls Chukars took a 10-9 lead with a run scoring, an error actually, by Darwin Salazar as they took it there. Then the Provo Angels came back, though, bottom of the 8th, trailing. They were able to score 3 runs, sacrifice fly, and air. That gave them a 12-10 lead. Idaho Falls put a run on the board in the 9th, but the deal has been set as Mitch Arnold picks up the save. Chris Waters with the victory. A very good game by the Idaho Falls Chukars and Provo Angels. Join us tomorrow, 7:05 game time, 6:55 pregame as we'll bring you all the Provo Angels action
here in the 2004 Pioneer League season. The Angels now 3-3, and the Idaho Fall Chukars drop to 3-3. Join us tomorrow. I'm your host, Jacob Peters. Have a great night. This is Provo Angels Baseball on SportsJuice.com.